afternoon, morning, or whatever time of day it is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Part-Time Allies Part-Time Podcast. Today I'm going to be your host, Josh, and joining me on the couch, as always, we have AJ.
Winter is here.
Ryan.
Winter is here on Sunday.
And Jordan.
At 7 p.m.
Depending on where you live. At 7 p.m. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
There you go. More specific.
I give no promises to when this episode
All right,
comes
now
out.
let's give them our Google Maps location.
And park the ice cream truck outside, and you've got us.
You got it.
Just give us a wave at the ice cream truck, and we'll acknowledge your presence.
Yeah, that's how good spies work. They wave at you before you go to where you're going.
Will they have banana popsicles?
Probably.
Okay, good.
We've got all the types of popsicles.
Perfect.
Do you guys remember that Spider-Man popsicle that had the bubblegum eyes?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It looks so gross.
Oh my goodness, yes, yeah,
I
wow, that
had
just came flying back.
I had that once, and the picture makes it look so good. It is awful when you get it. It looks so bad.
See, I was the kind of guy who would only ever get vanilla or chocolate, so whenever I saw those, like, that's such a waste. All I want is...
Cyclones, man.
Ooh,
Cyclones
so
are good.
They were all right.
Back to memory lane with that one.
Yeah.
What's on deck today, Josh?
Well, speaking of memory lane, there is a movie that came out that, unfortunately, I was unable to see, but you guys all saw.
Who?
Yeah.
It's called the Emoji Movie.
It's called the Emoji
It's
Movie.
called the Emoji Movie.
No.
Ultra VX.
It wasn't the
not
Emoji Movie. Although, did anyone end up seeing or hearing about how that went? The Emoji Movie?
Wait, I don't think it's out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet? Oh, okay.
No.
I thought it was out this week.
That would have been funny.
Jumanji is out this week, though.
Oh,
July
gosh.
22nd,
No,
I
it's
think.
not
kidding.
out.
July
But
22nd.
If it was out this week, I would be there right now.
Yeah, me too.
Heyo. But no, it was Planet of the Apes. What was the subtitle?
War for the Planet of the Apes.
War for the Planet of the
War
Apes.
never changes.
So, okay,
War.
as somebody who is like, I've seen the other two movies and the old movies as well, but I'm not super interested in it. Tell me about this movie.
So no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. So this
Yeah.
comes after Rise, which was the first installment
Wait,
of this
isn't it
trilogy.
So, okay, so Dawn's for the first new reboot one?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Rise.
yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
And then-
Rise came first.
Think.
Dawn came second.
Okay,
War is third.
so Dawn is the one where, like, he's raising him and teaching him?
No, Rise is the one where
Rise.
he's raising
Rise
him
is
and
the first
teaching him.
Oh.
It's weird because Dawn should
Yeah,
be
Dawn-
the title of a first installment,
Yeah.
but it's the second one.
Okay.
Rise Dawn.
And then what happens in Dawn again?
Dawn is where the humans find Caesar and his people in the forest, and Caesar and his people are like, go away, but they're like, oh, we gotta power our city with this hydro station, so can you let us do that? And Caesar's like, okay, but Koba's all like, no. And then Caesar's all like, Koba, you hate humans. And then Koba's all like, this is the Valley Girl review. No, not review. Synopsis of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Sure.
But yeah, then Koba's looks at Caesar and he's mad. And then there's a fight. And then the movie ends.
Okay, perfect. So then that leads us to this movie.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it a good follow-up?
It was pretty good. I wouldn't say this is my favorite.
I wouldn't either.
I think
But it was really good.
despite that terrible synopsis of Dawn, I'd say Dawn is my favorite.
Yeah, I would say Dawn was like my favorite as well.
But if we are going back, or if we're including all of them, the original 1968, don't quote me on that. I think that's right though. 1968 Planet of the Apes is my favorite.
Quote him.
Okay, cool.
But
Right.
yeah, it was good. Like Ryan said, I think Dawn was better for some reason. I think for me it went on for a really long time, which is good, I guess. But it went on for a little too long. I think everything was really I guess you know the outcome of the story, but everything was kind of too perfect. Like they're trying to escape at one point, and the way they did it was a little silly. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it was a little far-fetched, I would say.
A little bit.
There were a few points in the movie where it didn't make sense, and I felt like it could have been tightened a bit better than because the other movies were very tight. There wasn't really any parts in the plot where you could kind of poke holes in it. But this one, there was a few kind of things that were like, really? But then it was still a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
How was the CG and cinematography?
Amazing.
Incredible.
Cool.
Like they did a bunch of zoom-ins, especially with Maurice, his orangutan friend, there was lots of zoom-ins on his face, and because you know how orangutans have
Flat faces.
Yeah, they have those weird flat faces that are skin, and you don't really see hair on it, but when it zoomed in, you see all the individual tiny little hairs, and
See all the indents in the skin.
Cool.
it
like
was
Weta. It's Weta who does the. They're in New Zealand, I think.
yeah.
They did all this stuff for Lord of the Rings. Their CGI, company, and they're just absolutely incredible. Like if anyone's gonna win visual effects, awards, it's gonna be them. It has to be War of the Planet of the Apes because they've done it 3 times in a row. And I remember looking at just like one of the apes, and just like looking at it, I'm like, that looks so real. Like I was just looking, I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, and there's already rumors of Andy Serkis being nominated for his role as Caesar. Finally.
Cool.
Finally, like he's the master at those mocap, just CGI stuff. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's got to be rough, though, like especially for the first movie where he doesn't really say a whole lot. It's more mocap. Like, it's understandable as to why he wouldn't be nominated for that sort of role. And then in Dawn, like, getting closer. But for this one, he speaks a lot more from what I understand, right?
Yeah, lots of people were pretty upset that he wasn't even considered really for nomination for Dawn, because I still think he should have been, because there was a lot of emotion still put in, like, to his facial expressions and all that.
It's crazy.
But then for this one, it was to another level.
You
Like
can just see-
so much speaking, so much emotion in his face. Ugh, it's unreal.
Sweet.
Like the technology for facial expression capture is incredible, I must say.
And there's even times where you're looking at Caesar and you see Andy Serkis. Like, it looks like Andy Serkis became an ape. Like the face looks so much like him.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on Planet of the Apes?
Watch it.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
If you've watched the other two, I think it's a really good wrap up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a really, really good wrap up for
It's a
the trilogy.
conclusion.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Conclusion. And I like how they tied in.
Yeah, it almost ties into where the originals go, but
Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time not. There's a lot of I noticed a lot more references to the old ones in this
There
one
is a few homages.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
As compared to the first two in this installment, but yeah.
And a direct reference, which they've never done in the other two. So,
I don't remember what direct reference.
No spoilers.
no,
You'll have to find out for yourself.
I'm not gonna say it.
I already forgot. But yeah, overall, good movie.
Really good movie.
Yeah, just watch it for the CGI alone.
I
Like
think
it's
that
amazing.
is like the pinnacle of CGI and what should be the well, not the standard, but like holy crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Know what you mean. Right on there. Oh, English is difficult as a first language and my only language.
It is. It is.
One quick last note. If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend watching the original first 5 Planet of the Apes movies. The first one,
All 5.
Jordan looked it up from me. The first one was 1968, so you can quote me on that.
Good guess.
Whoa.
And I think the last one came out in late 70s or around there. But yeah, they're good movies as a whole. Some of them might not be the greatest, but yeah, if you watch any of them, just watch the first one. It's a classic.
Good stuff. Jordan is nodding his head and smiling.
Oh yeah. I remember the last part of that movie. I'm not going to say anything, even though it's a really old movie, and I probably shouldn't be worried about spoiling it. But if you were going to watch it, there was a few scenes in there that were very entertaining.
I suggest too, if you watch it, try not to look at the movie poster or box cover of the original.
Oh.
Because it's
a spoiler.
Yeah, they spoil the
yeah.
movie on the box. It sucks.
Weird. All right. Well, moving on. I just wanted to quickly talk about Magic the Gathering, actually. I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast.
I don't think so.
It's been name dropped.
Name dropped. Okay.
Has it?
So we all play it at least a little bit. here and there. The last weekend was the Hour of Devastation pre-release, and the set released yesterday on Friday. And I played in the pre-release. Did not do well.
Oh no.
Have any of you guys done a pre-release before?
Yeah.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Long time.
They were a
ago.
lot of fun. Sit down and try and figure out what the heck's going on. And then, I played in Draft Weekend on Thursday. And that was pretty good. I did pretty well. I don't want to go too deep into the mechanics. I'm not sure if we have any fans of the show who are into Magic. But if you are, write in. Let us know, and we can do a little bit more of a deep dive maybe one episode.
It's a card game if you're really, really newbie.
Yeah, it's a card game. You fight each other. It's fun. I used to I used to really, really trash on it years ago when I first heard about it. And then a friend of mine convinced me to try it, and it turns out that it's a really good game. So I've been having a lot of fun playing it.
We know you have.
Yeah, it's a good time. All right. So that brings us to something that we've wanted to do for a little while here and didn't quite know where to fit it in, but I think this is going to be the spot. We're going to talk about all of our top 10 games.
What?
Yeah.
The
Can of
part-time
worms,
allies?
man. Can of worms.
Can
It
of
is a
worms,
can of
indeed.
Worms. It really is.
So we hadn't really talked about how we're going to do this. I thought it would be kind of fun if we all went in a circle and did like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
the
all
thing
the way
is-
up to our 1.
Mine isn't like done like that. It's kind of just
okay.
10.
10? Well, you don't have to. You can say that yours aren't necessarily in any order.
Mine's not in any order.
Yeah.
It would be really hard.
I could not order mine.
Oh,
No.
really?
Like the first couple spots I probably could, but the rest of it no.
Like just like my movies, I have a
No.
billion runner-ups.
Yeah, fair.
You know what I mean?
Jordan, did you number yours?
I just have
So
a
just
list.
A list? Just me. Okay, well,
Yeah,
Just
it's too hard. It's too hard because
is way
there's
too
so many
hard.
different categories.
So many variables.
Yeah,
You know, what mood
it's,
you were
it's
in
hard
at the
to
time.
say what's. It really depends on your emotional state too. It's
Yeah.
like something could really connect with you at one point if you're in that emotional state, but then it's hard. It's hard to give a number.
I
to
would
something.
say though, because mine aren't in any particular order though. If you guys have one in mind that you would say is your top, we should try and save it for last.
sure.
Mhm.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Are we going through all 10? Or are we just gonna do like 5? Like how?
Let's do all 10. We can just quickly talk about them, and then, of course, if one gets talked about, because I'm assuming there's going to be some overlap in all of our lists, if one gets talked about and someone else brings it up, we'll just say, yep, we acknowledge that that's a good game again, and we'll skip it. But, okay, so let's do
Should we do some runners up?
some runners-up first.
Oh,
that
gosh.
sounds good to me. I had 2 honorable mentions from my top 10, so
I have more than that, but I'm just gonna run through mine
Sure.
when I read it.
yeah. Let's go in a circle, starting with Ryan then. What are your runners-up?
Oh, me already? No
You
way.
already.
Okay, so we have on the GameCube, Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, which I talked about in my couch co-op.
Yeah, that's on PS2 as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, I played it on
Yeah,
GameCube.
yeah.
I have Smash 4,
Mm.
so that's the most recent Smash game. Stardew Valley,
Okay.
Lego Marvel Superheroes, Horizon Zero Dawn made it up to my honorable mention. I have Halo Reach, and then Far Cry 3 / Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Okay.
Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon's
That's
hilarious.
funny.
I 100%ed both of those. They were so fun.
Right on. Okay. Jordan, do you have any runners-up you wanted to quickly give a shout-out to?
Not really. You could go ahead,
Okay.
Josh.
Sounds good. I only have 2, and mine are Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. That's the hack-and-slash Metal Gear Solid game featuring Raiden. And,
Is he the one with like the eye patch and
Yep.
the crazy
Yeah.
white hair?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the
That was a
cyborg.
great game. I loved it.
yeah, it's really good. I have a few little notes down here. One of them is not safe for work, so I won't read it, but it's anime as anime, I'll say. It's really cool. Like, there are just some insane fight scenes that happen in there. Like, the very first, like, tutorial boss is a Metal Gear, which is this, like, huge walking tank, and he throws it. So, that's cool. And, yeah, it just had really tight controls. And for games that sometimes have offshoots that are usually terrible, this one wasn't. So that was cool. My other one is Lisa the Painful. I've talked about that a couple times. My favorite NPC is from that game. And it's just it's a 2D RPG that doesn't do what you expect it to do. And it's cool for that. So those are my 2. AJ, what do you have
I have way too many.
for runners-up?
I have way too many.
Just pick a few.
But I'm gonna do a few here. I have a list it's like I have like 25 something game runners up.
Sure.
But I'll just,
25?
yeah. So I'm just gonna.
I thought I had a lot.
I was gonna go through a few of them. Just some shout outs. Heavy Rain, Final Fantasy 12, StarCraft 2, Dota 2, Terraria, Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Let's see, Deus Ex: Human Revolution, FTL, Binding of Isaac, Metal Gear: Phantom Pain, Legend of Grimrock, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, Bloodborne, Plants vs Zombies, Overwatch. Okay, yeah, there's more, but
Wow.
there's quite a bit.
It's a lot of runners up.
It's really hard.
There's a lot
okay?
of good games in there.
I struggle with this. Okay.
Fair. Well, starting with number 10 then. Ryan, what's your number 10?
I will try and order these as we go down. My number 10, I would have to say, is Overwatch.
Overwatch. Okay.
Yeah, which I know Josh didn't necessarily enjoy as much as I did.
Yeah, I knew we were going to get to this at some point, but for all the listeners out there, I'm kind of not an Overwatch hater, but I did not buy into the hype for that game. So
Yeah.
This is what it is.
I didn't know there was hype, and on a whim, I actually got that game, and next thing I know, I have like close to 200 hours in it. I'm like, oh, geez, I must like this or something.
Yeah, like I definitely won't deny it's a tight, good experience for what it is, but I think it's just the mindset I was in when it came out.
Yeah.
I was just so done with shooters.
I hear you. It's a really good game. I lost steam with that game. Like it slowly just started like I've done this so many times now. So I might pick it up and play it again, but I loved every minute of playing it. So
Weird side tangent. Speaking of Steam, that was actually one of my initial like weird things I didn't like about that game. Is that was one of the first big Blizzard games that wasn't on Steam.
Oh.
It was moved to the Blizzard launcher,
right.
and all that stuff is just like. I
Wait,
don't
were
know
other
how I
Blizzard
feel about
games
that.
on Steam?
I thought that you can get some of the older StarCraft, or was it never?
No, you could
okay.
never get any
Never mind.
Blizzard
I
game
am
on.
wrong.
Nope.
Well, anyways, Blizzard launcher. I don't like it, but
I like everything in my Steam launcher
I'm
too.
just
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
a stickler.
Yeah,
Can't you add games not in your Steam
you,
launcher?
you
into
can,
Steam?
but it's still a
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
can
not
see
if they're in a different launcher.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, yeah, Jordan, do you have a 10? Or if you're not ordered, you can just pick whatever. But
I really enjoyed Ragnarok. I'd say a lot of the games that are in my top 10 are older games that I played in my youth.
Ragnarok Online?
Yeah, Ragnarok Online.
Oh my goodness, that's not a runner-up, by the way.
That's one of your runner-ups. I feel like it has a special place in my heart just because it had I just remember so many good times with it and spending a lot of time creating your own server too and getting all your friends together and playing it. And it just had a very unique charm because the sprites were very different and it was a very colorful game. And I remember Ragnarok 2 came out and that game was garbage. It had all like
garbage.
the 3D models, but everyone still played the original because it was way better.
Yeah, the original had. I think I talked about this before, but the original had sprites, and then the backgrounds. So the character sprites, and then the backgrounds were 3D.
Yeah,
was
it
kind of
worked
like an
really well.
isometric
It looked really cool. Yeah, an
MMO.
isometric sprite-based game.
And they just had a certain charm to how, the sprites were, and the hats you can wear,
yeah,
and the community.
the community was great. I went to Malaysia when I was a lot younger, and this was when Ragnarok was very popular. It was really interesting because you go to any internet cafe and everyone was playing Ragnarok.
AJ, you played Ragnarok, you said, right?
Yep.
Ryan, did you play any of it?
A lot of Ragnarok.
No, that's a
MMO.
There you go. You got it right.
Not a MOBA.
I don't know.
MMO.
It's a
That's
really
okay,
old
right?
game.
Actually,
No.
no. Backup question: have you played any MMOs before?
Okay. What's that one? No.
RuneScape.
That one.
Okay.
But I played
I think everyone in our generation played
Alright.
RuneScape.
I played it for like an hour.
Did anybody play Tibia? I know AJ did.
Yeah, I played
but-
Tibia.
Oh my goodness.
Wait. Is Destiny one?
Kind of.
Okay.
Destiny is like on. If there's a spectrum, it's almost outside of the spectrum. It's like you could like kind of call it an MMO. It's an MMO only in the matchmaking. Like for me, a classic MMO is when all all the players on a server can be interacting with each other all the time, whereas Destiny is like you're interacting with the people on the hub, and then you split off into your own thing.
Oh, I played Club Penguin a lot.
Despite us laughing at that is in fact an MMO.
Man, my elementary school years were fantastic.
Sounds like it.
Club Penguin.
All right, so that's Ragnarok at number 10 for Jordan. Ish. Well, 10-ish. For me, my number 10 is Deadly Premonition.
I knew it was going to be in your top 10.
Yeah. I've talked about it a lot on the podcast. So I always kind of thought of myself growing up as like, oh, tough guys don't cry. That was the first game to make me cry.
Wait, you cried in that?
Sure did. The ending is really good.
Oh. I'm trying to think now. Did I cry in any? Oh, yeah, I did. Horizon Zero Dawn, I cried.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, the despite the wackiness of Deadly Premonition, I ended up getting quite attached to the characters by the end. And there's a certain kind of post-game thing you can do that gets you like a secondary ending, and that was really special. And it's also just one of those great games it's a fantastic mix of Japanese and Western culture into this one weird magical thing. So, yeah, Deadly Premonition.
Huh.
AJ, what have you got?
So I'm sort of trying to order them, and it's really hard. But I think my definitive actual 10 is XCOM 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, yeah, it was the, strategy. You kind of make your own party, turn-based.
Isometric, right?
Isometric action point. You spend your action points to move to a certain place. It takes like 4 action points to kill a alien, and it shows you how much percentage of chance you'll hit them. And then it's like a squad based, game. And what I loved about it was just I can make each individual soldier, can't say that word, like my friend. So I can put Josh in, I could put in and Ryan, and you were in my game, and all the little stories I had of, come on, Jordan, shoot the freaking alien. He's right in front of you.
Stop missing.
You have a shotgun. It's 95% chance.
My gun's jamming. There's something in there. There's like alien goop or something.
And you can, in XCOM 2, you could really make the features look like the person you're trying to make them.
Yeah.
And I loved how you could do that.
Well, that game was almost like controlling a D&D party.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And as we go through my list, you can tell there's quite a few similar games to that. So I just loved. I loved Darkest Dungeon's on my runners up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I just didn't say it.
I feel like as we go through these lists, as people name things, it's like, oh yeah, that's probably a runner up for me.
I'm almost, even when Jordan says Ragnarok, it almost fits in my top 10. If I had a top 11, Ragnarok would be 11.
Really?
Yep. And I think it's crazy how much nostalgia can really, like the moment he says Ragnarok, all these memories just flood back into my head.
Huh.
But yeah, XCOM 2 is my top 10 or 10.
It's 1 to 10.
That's it. It's my top 10.
AJ really loves XCOM 2.
XCOM 1 and 2 are my top 10.
Oh,
No.
perfect. Thanks, AJ.
Yeah.
So that brings us to Ryan at number 9.
Number 9, we are going back quite a few years to... Sorry. Jordan's losing.
Sorry. I just remember it's something from a cartoon show. I can't remember what cartoon show, but there was this pig that was snorting, and it was always like number 9, number 9, number 9. I don't know why it came into my head, but the way you said it reminded me of that. And
If you can find that on YouTube, send us the link.
Number 9, number 9.
I think we found the name for the episode.
Oh my goodness.
All right, sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry, Ryan.
we're
Number 9.
it's fine. Interrupt me.
Number 9.
I love being interrupted. It's great. That's not sarcasm, by the way. I'm not being passive aggressive here.
Don't kill me.
Okay, going back quite a few years, my number 9 would have to be Super Mario World.
Oh,
The-
wow.
the-
Okay.
The Super Nintendo game. I mostly nostalgia reasons, because I didn't have a Super Nintendo myself, but I would go over to my buddy's house a lot of the time, and we'd boot this up, and because there was a 2-player option for that, and you're like taking turns, passing the controller, and it was so much fun. It's Mario, so
Yeah, I have a lot of memories playing that game with cousins and just getting angry that like you wasted all Luigi's lives.
I was so excited when it came to the retro store on DS.
Oh yeah,
Got it instantly.
very cool.
I pretty much got because it wasn't available for the normal Nintendo 3DS. It was only available for the upgraded one that came out a year or two ago. And I pretty much just traded in my old DS to get that one so I could play Super Mario
I
World.
remember that.
Oh, well done. Did you play that 3D one, Super Mario 3D World,
On DS?
on 3DS?
No.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Is that like N64 Mario style?
No, it's more. It's kind of isometric actually.
Yep.
It's like a weird platformer that it utilizes the 3D elements to allow you to gauge jumps easier. It's actually pretty good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Super Mario 3D World.
I'll have to try that out.
Shout out. Okay, Jordan, what's your number 9?
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Number 9, I'd have to say Persona 4.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Persona 4 was a really fun game. It was a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Like dungeon crawler, dating sim, listen to good music.
You know what?
It was great.
I think Persona 4, when I look at Jordan, he encapsulates that game. Like style and I don't know.
You could say that's his persona.
There's just something about it. I remember I totally forgot about Persona, but like I remember you always talking about that game. Always, all the time. And
It
I
took
don't
a
know.
long time to beat, but it was a lot of fun.
it just reminds me of you, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's
But-
funny. The only reason why I remember this is because I started playing Persona 5 at Ben's place.
Mm.
It's pretty. I like it too. That one's pretty good.
Do you own Persona 5 or was it Ben's?
No, it's
Oh,
Ben's.
okay.
I just
Yeah.
go over there and play it every once in a while.
I've heard all right things.
Yeah.
But sorry, go in more detail. Why Persona 4?
Why Persona 4? Because it's so much more unique than a lot of the other games that are out there.
Yeah.
And it's always fun playing a unique game that's refreshing. It's something that it does take a while to get into, but once you get into it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like uniqueness is a huge draw to a game, like for me too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you should give it a go then, Ryan.
I definitely will.
Perfect.
Actually, I was super close to trying or buying Persona 5 multiple times, and I'd never played one of those games. It's turn-based combat, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It's very fast though. Persona 5 is fast with the combat. I'd say Persona 3 and 4 are a bit slower. But if you're going to start with a Persona game, I'd definitely start with 4
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
3 and then 5.
But
What
don't be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. What I love about those games is that it includes so many genres of games, and that's what a lot of games nowadays don't really have.
Yeah. Actually, another one that I'll save it for later. It's in my top 10, but it has that same similar description that you just described.
And I think it might be on my list as well, actually.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
All right,
See.
Josh.
Spoilers. All right.
Number 9.
Number 9.
My number 9. My number 9's a tie. It's
Can't do that.
It's half of one game and half of another game.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 3 and 5.
Oh.
Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater for the story, and Metal Gear Solid 5 for the gameplay. I feel like if Metal Gear Solid 5 was a remake of 3 and had a little bit of the like mother base elements, I think it would be like one of the perfect games. It's just have you guys any of you played Metal Gear Solid 3?
No. I've played
The
5.
Snake Eater?
Just 5.
Just 5?
Just 5.
So 3 is the origin story of the boss.
Big
Oh.
Boss?
Big Boss.
Big
Yeah.
Boss.
I've heard lore.
Yeah.
I know one of my coworkers is a huge fan of Metal Gear. Name drop Keith, if you're listening. But yeah, I know he's super into that lore, and he just knows everything.
Yeah.
And if like explaining, because I remember him just blasting explanations to me, and it's just like I could just see algebra and just like I could just see
The
like
beautiful mind
like
thing
one of
starts
those
happening.
and one of those like just like boards with like strings attached to other strings and like pictures and like trying to solve a mystery kind of deal.
Well, the annoying thing is like they retconned 1 and 2 basically, and the original Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
There was also 2 of those games, and and in Metal Gear Solid 5 at the very end, they do this ridiculous tie-in back to the first Metal Gear
Yeah.
that is actually kind of cool. Like, have everyone here who's played Metal Gear Solid 5 beaten it?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, Ryan, you've never played any of the other ones though, so do you know?
Feel
this?
free to spoil.
Wait, no, I don't want spoilers. It'll probably I'll probably know. Well, I probably won't know if it's tying in from other games.
Okay, then let's
Okay, we
leave
won't
alone.
spoil it.
Let's
But
leave it alone.
yeah, the way they tie Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain into because Metal Gear Solid, like the order of events is Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear 1, 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 4. So like they're everywhere, and there's like prequels to prequels, and it's crazy. But
How does Revengeance tie in?
Revengeance is way, way after 4. So it's like set, I think, 10 years after the end of the Metal Gear Solid series.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, anyways, it's a great game. 3 for the story and 5 for the gameplay. So that's my number 9, Metal Gear Solid 3 and 5. AJ, what have you got?
Number 9.
For my number 9,
Oh, no. Yeah, you're number 9. Yeah.
yeah. Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls. It was hard. Like I said, I'm actually like trying to organize them right now, and I still don't know if it's my number 9.
I saw a small tinge of disappointment appear on Ryan's face.
You noticed that?
Sure
it was
did.
that loud? Oh, okay.
What do you mean disappointment? Like that it was so like high?
So low.
So low, man.
But think about it. It's my top 10. This is out of all my runners up.
But think about it. It's number 9?
Okay. All right. But
Right.
yeah.
Ryan.
Okay, you'll change it right now. That's
No,
what you're
I'm
going to
not
do.
gonna
Ryan,
change it.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but Skyrim wasn't even in my top 10.
It's not on mine either.
So yeah. See,
Well-
I'm supporting you like this. Okay. But yeah, it's like 8 or 9. I don't know. But like I said before, Skyrim is beautiful. I don't think I need to explain.
Everyone's played Skyrim.
Do we-
I haven't played Skyrim.
Let's talk about Skyrim a little bit when we hit it on Ryan's list, I think.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Number 8.
Number
He's gonna mention no.
He says Skyrim.
All I gotta say, it was so funny when I was looking at AJ as he said that, and I got so disappointed, and I can't believe it was that noticeable that Josh called me out
Are
on
we
it.
not friends anymore?
No,
I've known you for a long enough time, and I definitely saw your expression go from like 9 to like a 7.
just like why? Okay, let's move on to number 8 here. Number 8, I have another Mario title. This is a really fun game. Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube.
Oh, buddy, yeah. If my honorable mentions could go forever, it would be on there for sure.
I'm not a racing game person, but this Mario Kart Double Dash, I put a lot of time into.
Yep. Yeah, me and a good friend got so good at playing it multiplayer, but on the same cart, and him being able to do the slides, and that was a good time.
Yeah, those are. I don't know why because that game got a lot of positive press and like reviews and everything, and all the people loved the kind of the pairs on the cart, but they never brought it back.
Yeah,
which I don't know why they haven't done that yet. I feel like, especially with the Switch coming out, they just released that other Mario Kart, but I feel like they should make a new one and do a
Nintendo does a lot
triple
of that,
dash.
though. Like, right? Nintendo doesn't ever. You can see that in their main franchises, like Metroid or Mario or Zelda. They never really double dip into the exact same feature set.
Yeah, it's always they always try to innovate.
Yeah,
That's like their main
and
motive.
like for good or bad. Like for example, I would
Yeah.
love to see another Wind Waker. Right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Wind Waker 2, but they just won't do it. It's not Nintendo's MO.
yeah.
So, it is what it is. But yeah, okay.
Number 8.
Jordan.
Number 8. Resident Evil 4.
I see.
Oh man.
I totally forgot about that game.
I know. There's so many
It's on my
games out
list
there.
too.
It's hard. There's probably other games that I forgot about that I didn't put on my list.
Yeah, I think we should say right here and now that these lists don't necessarily reflect our exact top 10 in a perfect world, but
No.
from what I could remember,
Exactly.
this is our top 10.
Resident Evil 4, that was the very first Resident Evil that I started playing, and I played it on the Wii.
Mm.
Oh, that's
I
going to
think
be
it's one of-
controversial.
It was really
I think it's one of the
fun,
best
actually.
Wii titles.
It is one of the best Wii titles. I was aiming
Honestly.
the gun with the Wiimote and
Yeah.
the little controller, and that was a lot of fun. I remember that.
Yeah.
And something that is really bizarre to like in a game is I really liked the limited amount of storage you had. And you had the
Yeah.
little backpack, and you could spend hours just like, okay, I'm going to put
Tetris.
this here. I'm going to put this here to maximize the amount of room you have in your backpack. Oh, I love that so much.
I love that. The attaché case.
Yeah, you know, you got to fit as many first aid kits you could in there.
And somehow you can fit a shotgun and a sniper rifle in there with a couple herbs and some grenades.
Yeah, and
stuff.
you'd always have to mix your herbs, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, despite the non-practicality of it, it's I like games that give you that little bit of extra thing to think about that's outside of the whole game. Like AJ said, genres within genres, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to have that little like sorting Tetris mini game within a survival horror game.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
And it had one of your most memorable characters in there too.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Oh, I can't believe that came back already.
Yeah.
And the delivery was so good.
What are you buying?
Oh.
All right, Josh, number 8.
Number 8.
My number 8 is Dragon's Dogma.
Oh,
I
no.
thought you were going to say Dragon Ball Z.
That's on my list. My runners-up.
That's an anime.
I was actually ready to hear Dragon Age, but I...
you know what? That was a good game. I like that a lot too.
That won't be on my list.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
But no, Dragon's Dogma. I've talked
Spoilies.
about it a little bit on the show before, but reasons I love it, the control scheme is like nothing in any other game. It's so unique to itself, and I love that for it. Again, and this is a theme for a lot of my submissions, but the Japanese mashed with West, so like Japanese action RPG mixed with Western like high fantasy.
Speaking of, the moment you start that game, there's like that rock intro. Do you remember that?
Yes. Can I? You know what? Hold on, AJ, talk about Dragon's Dogma for a little bit.
Okay. Well, it's funny how you start that game and you're thinking this like super high fantasy. And you're like, I'm ready for this game. Look at this game. Look at all the reviews, and then you you start the game and this crazy like super hyped like rock song starts playing. You're like,
Wait, what?
what did I get into? Like, I thought this was. Is this what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like.
And then the beat
Like-
drops.
No, this is kind of like you could see this being high fantasy
yeah.
at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
And you're menuing, right? And then so you can menu just fast enough where you won't notice what the song does, right? You just think this is what it is. But eventually, if you're a little slower, like go to options or some point, you get to hear the beauty that is Into Free by Dangan.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I remember I mentioned to you, I was like,
Oh, hold on.
oh, is it here?
Yep.
Is this
Is it
it?
here?
This is it.
It's probably really underwhelming. And I wasn't really expecting that.
It's like kind of anime.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, this.
Yeah.
It feels like you're playing an anime
Yeah.
game.
And then a guy starts singing.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And then this like doesn't fit the tone of the game at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Right? Well, I remember bringing up to you, I think this game was on a Steam sale. I was like, is this a Dragon Dogma game any good? And you're like, get it.
Yep.
You didn't even like say if it was good. Get it. Just get it. I didn't end up getting it.
Yeah, the
But-
reason it's not higher on my list is that the game isn't finished. You can really notice it in the last act. The game doesn't really have an ending; it just kind of ends.
That's a bummer.
It's also not. It's not a very friendly game in terms of like telling you how to play it. But it did something really cool with the class systems. So it has like the regular, like you have the fighter, the strider, who's like an archer, and then the mage, right?
Strider.
So like those are the base classes you can choose from. And then each of those classes, they're called vocations, has like a level up version of it. So there's like the two-handed fighter and like the longbow archer and like the archmage. But every class has like a between class as well. So if you want to be like a mage fighter, you can do that. Or if you want to be like a mage archer, you can do that. Or what would the other combo be? Archer fighter, who's like a bandit. And yeah, that game just had a lot of cool stuff going for it that I wish it was better than it was, but I had a great time
it had
playing
a lot
it.
of opportunities to be
Yep.
even better.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
When AJ and I
Better.
first got it, we're like, oh, it has multiplayer. This
Co-op.
is awesome. This is co-op.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. And then we got, we're like, okay, when do we get to play together?
When do we get
And
to
then
play?
we're like,
Then we looked it up on the internet, and it's like, nope. And I
Yeah.
was like, this could be so much better with co-op.
Instead, you get to play with each other's pawns. And speaking of which, we're going to talk about pawns a little bit later in the episode. So, foreshadowing.
all right.
Well,
But yeah, that's my number 8. AJ, your number 8 is...
Number 8, Dark Cloud 2.
Oh,
I have never
you
heard
know
of
what?
this
That
game.
should have been on my list, too.
Oh,
Good thing you're talking about it.
yeah. Okay, yeah, Dark Cloud 2. I was just talking about genres. into other genres, and Dark Cloud 2 is a PlayStation 2 game. And what makes Dark Cloud 2 so beautiful is the fact that it mixes RPGs with dungeon crawling, with world building, because you can build your own villages, and like relationship building. Well, not really relationships, but relationships with your with the NPCs in your village, and had just a really unique story. And all these other mini games, you could like take your picture, you could take pictures of stuff and like invent things.
Oh,
so it was like also a building game with pictures. It was like the most like craziest genre game I've ever played, and it's one of my favorite ones. Dark Cloud 1 and 2 are really, really good. And
interesting.
yeah, it just incorporates all those genres together, and no one does that anymore. And there's a weapon progression system, and there's not many games like that where you put like elements inside of your weapon, and your weapon can go into different trees.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick like, oh, I need some fire, and you add fire, and I can go into this weapon, it'll upgrade, and it changes the way it looks. And then it branches out to another like 3 options, and you can build to those and go your own path of what your weapon can change into. And not many games really do that anymore, with the world building, with the dungeon crawling, with all this inventor stuff. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that they couldn't. They
And-
haven't made anything
And
like
Level 5, which is the developer, has just stopped making Dark Cloud 2. And there's been rumors of Dark Cloud 3, but the rumors were so long ago, and apparently there was supposed to be Dark Cloud 3 was supposed to drop like 2 years ago, but it never happened. Or
Level
whatever.
5 sounds familiar. What do they make?
Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2, The White Knight,
For some reason, I thought they made Scribblenauts, but that's
Rogue
probably...
Galaxy, which
No.
was on my runners up. But they
What-
they do allow us, like their graphics are very cell shaded, and
What platform did this come out for?
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2. Okay.
Really, really good game. Like
Huh.
look it up. It lives up to, I think, what it is, and I think we need more games like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dark Cloud 2, is number 8.
All
cool.
right, moving
Number-
on to number 7.
I'm going to disappoint a lot of people out there by saying this.
Uh-oh.
This is a guilty pleasure game.
Oh no, nah.
Magikarp Jump.
Yes. I put 1,800 hours into that. No. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 1.
So I think it's nostalgia.
Oh yeah, you
Mostly, or-
broke hearts on 2 levels there, I think. Unless you have another Call of Duty that's higher.
No, okay. When I talk to people, usually I'll say World at War is my favorite Call of Duty. But I was thinking more about it, and with the amount of time, and because World at War, I like the atmosphere and all the guns and everything, but the campaign wasn't super exciting to me. But the first Black Ops campaign, I thought it was great. I thought they finally made a campaign that I was kind of hooked into. And then the multiplayer. To this day, I compare every Call of Duty multiplayer to this game. Because I feel like the way you upgraded your weapons and kind of got your attachments and got your improved perks was the best way to do it. So yeah, to this day, that multiplayer is my favorite. And that was the very first introduction of Nuketown. One of the most famous Call of Duty maps to exist.
Yeah, probably in the minority, but I don't like Nuketown. Never did since minute 1. Probably because it was, I don't know, too hyped, I guess. But
Yeah.
and whenever there was a round to vote for a map, it always got picked.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd play one map and then Nuketown, and then another map and then Nuketown.
But there were times where I don't think I played Nuketown for maybe 3 sit downs. I'm like, I haven't played Nuketown in a long time. There was a couple maps that I did like lots of the snowy maps, Array was one of them. I really liked
Array was cool. Array was cool because it was big.
Yeah, and it had the big satellite dish and the whole comm center. Yeah, it was really cool.
Right on. I'm interested that you didn't. So the ones that when I think Call of Duty that jumped to hit my head are Modern Warfare 2
Yep.
and Call of Duty 4 are the big ones.
Mine is Modern Warfare,
Yeah.
just like the first one, because that was the first one that dived me deep into Call of Duty.
Yeah,
And that's
because
such a
the
good story.
multiplayer
was
was
good, too.
insanely good
Yeah.
too, right? But yeah.
But I played the multiplayer for Modern Warfare 2 because that when that came out, that was, I think I was maybe middle school or something, maybe high school, and everyone was playing it, and I didn't play it until a little bit later, and I had a lot of fun with it. But then Black Ops came out. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try Black Ops, and I was like, this is so much better. Oh, I loved it.
Right on. Okay, Jordan, your number 7
Number
is
7.
Number 7.
Ish.
Just to keep everyone in the loop. This is in no particular order, so it's not really my
Yeah.
favorite. But my number 7, I'd have to say.
It's hard. Like this, it's hard, huh?
I'd have to
again.
say,
This isn't contractually binding.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo.
Hey.
I played a lot of Mega Man games. I didn't like the original Mega Mans for the Nintendo Entertainment System, but for the Super Nintendo, I loved Mega Man X, and I played them all the time when I
The
was a
theme's
kid.
in my head right now.
Yeah.
So good.
And I loved finding all the upgrades. I'd look for them everywhere, and this was a time where you couldn't really find the answers on the internet. You'd have to look it up in the manuals or actually find it yourself. So it was like a little treasure hunt.
Oh yeah. Those are always fun.
Back in the day.
Wait, so
Back in the day.
Mega Man X, you didn't prefer Mighty Number 9?
Not that garbage. You really want to come in here and talk the garbage to us?
That's a
You're the
stone-
one who put Skyrim at number 9.
Whoa.
I'm just messing with you.
Whoa,
man.
we're
Ouch.
I'm not-
fighting words.
I'm not bitter. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, that isn't sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I-
Okay.
I respect your video game views.
Like I said, it's hard.
It is. I completely understand.
Remember, AJ said it was in no particular order, so he's just naming them. It just
Oh, so it's actually his number 1.
maybe.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
I'm,
not my number.
I'm pretty
one.
sure. I'm pretty sure he started numbering them.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
It's hard. I'm trying.
No.
Oh, boy.
I'm just bugging you.
All right, let's go to my number 7.
Number 7.
Quick aside, I remembered a game that is not on my list, and I would maybe put at like 10 or 11. Paper Mario: 1,000-Year Door.
Oh.
Just wanted to throw that one out there. That should be higher, but I didn't have time to think about it because I forgot about it. So
First
right
Paper
now,
Mario's on my runners.
First Paper Mario is good too. My number 7 on my list is Dead Rising, the original one.
Oh, yeah.
This game got a lot of hate for being way too hard, but that was one of my pros for it. That was a game where you could get yourself stuck, like where your skill plus like the ability that you were, or like the level that your character was at, could get to the point where you just can't progress at the game anymore, and you'd have to restart. But when you restart, you keep all of your level progression that you've done so far. And for like, I was kind of younger when I picked Dead Rising up, so I had one game to play, and it was Dead Rising. So for me, having the ability to keep replaying this game over and over and get a bit of a different experience, and like get a little bit farther and then restart, and then get a little bit farther than that and then restart, and then get a little bit farther than that. Man, I got really good at Dead Rising by the time I beat that game. And again, this is another one of those things where it has like the Japanese developer mixed with the Western culture of like Western Mall America and like the consumerism and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of where the story goes. And no, they do a great job. Also, the time mechanic, again, that's like the big difficulty thing that a lot of people hate on, ended up being one of my favorite things because it makes you at some point not be able, like you have to choose to do this or this, but you can't save everybody, so you have to choose.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part of it, but it was kind of frustrating because I played that game not often. It was kind of more, I think I'll turn this on. So I think it annoyed me just in that sense that I wasn't like committing to the game and playing it constantly. But yeah. I can see the like how good that game is. I just never put the time in.
Like even years later to this day, I know the exact route I would go as I started a new character to go get like the best weapons I could get with the best like durability books, and then I knew where all the shortcuts were and how to do all of the things in time so I didn't miss any events. Like, yeah. That game is burnt into my mind.
All right. AJ, number 7.
My number 7 is, it's another PlayStation 2 game, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hey.
They, they kind of remastered it for the PS3. They did a bunch of strange. Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts franchise in general is very convoluted. Takes years to make them, but I think mostly nostalgia reasons. But it's one of those games where I remember being like, "What the heck is this?" There's Donald Duck and Goofy on the cover of this game, and there's some random anime looking dude with a keyblade like on the front, and it's really, really weird. And then you start that game, and I remember renting it because it was like 2002 or something. I remember renting it and then getting really, really scared because the very beginning of the game is really dark, and you're on this like glass pane in the middle of black, like just darkness, and you fight through these like little shadows, and you're like, what's going on? And then at the very end, you fight like this really giant black shadow of yourself, and it's like, who are you? And like, this is you if you like turn into darkness, and you're like, whoa, this is really deep. And I was really scared, and I think I returned it because it was really scary. And then I picked it up again, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat it, and I beat it, and it opens up into this like really nice like Disney World. Like I never thought like Disney and like Square Enix would like have a baby and make this game, and it being so enjoyable because it like I said, Donald Duck and Goofy's in it, and they're like my favorite Disney characters because of this.
Yeah, I always kind of thought Disney was protective of their IP, and then so
Yeah.
to see games like this come out, it's like, oh, that's
And
cool.
funny story is, I read up on Kingdom Hearts, and the only reason it was made is because someone from Disney was in an elevator with someone from Square Enix,
No way.
and all of a sudden they started talking, and then they're like, they had this little baby like brainchild, and Kingdom Hearts was born, and that's like insane to me.
It was conceived in an elevator.
Yeah, it was conceived.
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. But I love how, like I said, there's a lot of expectations. Like when people see the cover, there's like Donald, Goofy, and all these Disney characters, and you wouldn't think it'd be good. You think that's for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually seen this game in stores
Yeah.
like when I was younger, and
Yeah,
I kind of just avoided that like the plague. I'm like,
Yeah.
what Disney game's gonna be good?
and then you play it, and it's this really, really like, it's not really deep, but the story is really good. There's like RPG elements. I don't know. There's something about it that's so charming.
Is Sephiroth a boss in one of these games?
It is.
That's
Yeah.
weird. So that's Final Fantasy also. Well, I guess
Yeah.
that's Square Enix.
It's
so.
so
Final
there's
Fantasy,
Disney, and then there's Final Fantasy characters in it, and they're just kind of interwoven in between, and they're all just on this one universe, and like in that game you like go to random Disney worlds. So the cool thing was you have Donald, Goofy, and the main character Sora, and every time you go to a new world, you kind of change into that outfit. So there's Halloween Town, and you change to the outfit, and like all the sceneries and all the monsters are all based on that Disney theme, and then there's also like Final Fantasy rolled into there, and I think it's just great. It's a really good RPG. It's a little strange when you play it. It all makes sense. It all makes sense when you play it. And it's just so whimsical and beautiful. I think.
Kingdom Hearts is such a great game because there's so many stories woven into the game. Like each new place you go to has its own story.
Yeah.
So you're not just playing one story, you're playing like 10 or 12 stories.
You're almost like rewatching the Disney movies. Like
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 had Mulan, and like Mulan had her own little thing she wanted to do and all that stuff. And it's just great because like you're talking to these characters, and they also had a bunch of the same voice actors
Oh, cool.
from all the Disney characters and stuff like that. It's a really good game.
And they transformed how Sora looked and the group for every place you went to, which is also very, very fun.
But yeah, that's my number 7. Kingdom Hearts 2. It's hard that it's still my number 7. I'd even bump it up, but it's hard. Okay,
Nice.
I'll have to play that one day.
I'll show you.
That'd be great.
All
Thanks, man.
Ryan, what you got at?
I'll show you Skyrim.
Oh my goodness.
What have you got at number 6, Ryan?
What I got at number 6,
Skyrim.
I'm cheating a bit. Not yet. I'm cheating a bit. I'm saying the Gears of War trilogy.
Okay.
I will pick a preferred one out of the trilogy. I'm putting the whole trilogy in that spot, but I will pick the preferred one, and I would have to say it's number 3.
Okay.
Which some people might not agree with. I think some people like number 2 the most.
When does Horde mode start?
I think that was in number 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in number 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd have to say number 3 because the campaign had a great ending. I cried because for those of you who've played it, there's a certain moment with some certain characters and a sacrifice, and it's so emotional. But I loved it. The multiplayer was really fun. Just sitting on the couch with someone playing Horde mode, so great. It's gory. It's funny. They're just fun games.
Cool.
That's my number 6.
Right on.
Number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. This is tough. Now that we're getting closer and closer to number 1, it's the pressure's on. I have a big list here. I'd have to say for number 6, it would have to be Ratchet and Clank for the PS2.
Yeah, I forgot about that too.
I love the creativity. And it's great. You know, we've got a lot of other games to go through, so we're going to pick up the pace a bit. I won't explain it too much. So how about your number 6, Josh?
My number 6 is Nier Automata.
Oh, wow.
The newest Nier game. Yeah, it jumped right up there for me. And yeah, it's one of those games where, like I said, don't beat it once. You've got to beat it all the way through. It does some great things with the mixture of audio and when audio changes when you go into different areas or different things. Some great story in there, a good take, an unexpected take on artificial intelligence. So yeah, Nier Automata is my number 6.
I haven't beaten it yet, but it'd probably have been on my list.
Yeah, it's. I would love to hear what you and David have to say when it's done because it's something special.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have David back on for when both of them are at least through it once.
No.
Twice.
Yeah.
8 times.
Once is like you don't even know what's going
42.
on.
Okay, then never mind. I know nothing about Nier.
5 times.
162.
62.
All right, number 6, AJ.
Number 6, Final Fantasy X. And the
And
reason is nostalgia. Great story. It's a Final Fantasy game. It's the only Final Fantasy game, well, I think the start that had voice acting, which wasn't the greatest. But it was the very beginning of voice acting. And not the first time, but they reintroduced turn-based to be a lot more strategic instead of action turn-based. And I'm a big fan of looking at all your turns and just going through that turn-based motions. So yeah, Final Fantasy X.
Right on.
All right, number 5.
I would say number 5 for me is a relatively recent game, Fallout 4. I'm putting it that high on my list.
Whoa.
I had a real fun time with this. I still need to revisit that game. I'm still waiting for the DLC to be a little bit cheaper. But yeah. Cheaper. Yeah, I'm going to once it's a bit cheaper, I will get it, and then I'm probably going to be sucked into the wasteland once again.
Yeah, that was one of those games where I didn't put it down when I picked it up. Like I just barreled through that game. I had went so far as like pre-planned my character. I knew what perks I was taking at what level. Yeah, and because of that, I went the power armor route, and that made the game way too easy. But,
yeah, I avoided the power armor because that's not really my thing. But yeah, for like 3 months straight, this was the only game I would play. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to when I can pick it up again, because that game is so good. I did enjoy Fallout 3 as well. There's just some things I felt they perfected with Fallout 4, such as the weapons not breaking on you.
Yeah,
that was my biggest thing. So, yeah.
I have a pretty funny story. I'll make it really quick because I want to mention it, because this is something that I rarely do at all. This is for Fallout New Vegas.
Ooh.
And I normally never create kind of like joke characters I just play for whatever. And I actually had a lot of fun. I thought this would be a really stupid idea, but I made this one rule that I'd play Fallout New Vegas, but the only weapon I could use was a grenade launcher. So my character was based off of a grenade launcher. And it was so funny, you know, you go into a room and you're trying to like save someone in there, but you accidentally kill them. You're like, well, you know, it's part of my rule. I could just use my rocket launcher.
Grenade Bill tried to save Sally, but
sorry, Sally.
Not again.
At least you're sticking to the character.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
You didn't sway from, we're in a tightly compacted room. I'm going to switch to the handgun. Nah, see you.
That's some good RP.
Goodbye,
It was
everyone.
so funny. I'd actually try to aim in certain corners so I'd avoid the the area of effect of the blast.
And then it's Fallout, so their arms just blow off.
oh boy.
All right.
Wow.
Anyway, my number 5. This is tough. Now we're getting in the top 5s here.
I just want to say none of us have repeated anything yet, which is
No.
crazy.
I've
we
actually
not?
been modifying my list because AJ's been saying a few, and
okay.
you've said a few as well.
You don't have to.
Okay.
We are allowed to go copy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I like that.
Well, I'm sure when we get close to number 1, there's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of copying.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Anyway, my number 5, it would have to be. All right, this is tough. I'd have to say For Honor would be number 5.
Wow.
What?
This is such an underdog game.
No. I can see because I remember too when. Sorry, I'll let you talk about it in a second. But when you first showed me, and you're like, "Yeah, just play it," like just you talking about it, you were so excited about this game.
Oh yeah.
So I can see it.
It's such an amazing game. This is a game that this type of game I've really wanted to play for a long time. You know, Chivalry came out, or no, what was before that? There's like War of the Roses, Chivalry, and Mountain Blade.
Yeah.
Those three were kind of like games I really wanted to play, but it was really clunky and the mechanics weren't all there that I enjoyed too much. You'd use your mouse to like deflect the blade. But For Honor, it perfected. The mechanics are so tight in that game. It makes it so fun. The multiplayer is where the game is at, but the single player campaign is pretty well the tutorial to get you set up for the multiplayer. But it's one of those games where you just pick certain characters that you want to be really good at to make them your main. And once you do that and you really learn the mechanics and you look up how to do everything, it very much feels like a fighting game, but with swords, which is really fun. And you can move around.
For Honor.
For Honor, number
For
5.
Honor.
I love it.
I can't believe it, but in a way I can believe it, and now I'm sad that I make fun of you so much for liking that game.
Yeah. It's such a good game.
You
There's
feel
so
a little
much,
bit of remorse.
Like if
There's
it
so
was a
much
15, I
negative
wouldn't
press.
care, but
Yeah, there's so much negative press about this game. Like low player count and the whole issue with peer-to-peer connections. But when I've played, I've never really had many issues. It's been pretty good
It's
for
your
me.
baby.
fair enough.
Yeah.
So this one was also going to be a tie for me, but I made a stand, and I put the other game not on the list. But it's Majora's Mask, Legend of Zelda.
That's a good
Wow.
one.
Is my number
Whoa.
5 instead of Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always hear Ocarina is the best one.
Yeah, a lot of people think Ocarina is the best one. I'm in the very minority camp of thinking that Majora's Mask is better. It does something that Legend of Zelda games don't normally do, except for kind of Twilight Princess, is change up the gameplay mechanics quite significantly. And because of Majora's Mask, you assume the form of a Goron, a Zora, and a Dooku Scrub, which are just characters in that universe. If you've never played Legend of Zelda
there's
games,
one more.
oh, and the Great Hero or whatever. But
Yeah.
you get to play as him exactly once, and the requirements for getting his mask are insane.
But it's worth it.
It is worth it. Yeah, if you collect every mask in that game, which I did, you have to. I would never say you've beaten Majora's Mask until you've beaten the final boss as the whatever he's called, Great Deity guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, that game is weird and very fun.
Did you ever play that game with the shield glitch?
No.
I'm
don't
trying to
think so.
remember exactly what it was, but I had a playthrough, and I remember looking up this one weird glitch you could do. But basically, if you shield at a certain time, and you swing with your blade, you do a certain animation, but it's like an area of effect.
Oh.
So you just quickly do that, and it just automatic. it pretty well kills everything really, really fast.
Yeah.
You're like,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 5.
All right, moving on. AJ, number 5.
My number 5 was really hard as well. It's The Last of Us.
oh, see, that was on mine
that
too.
high up.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think this is one of the stories that gripped me the most. It was one of the most gripping stories ever. Why are you laughing at me?
Part-time allies rating system. Last of Us better than Skyrim.
What? I agree. Last of Us is better than Skyrim.
I mean,
Well,
the story is
That's
incredible.
just your guys' opinion.
The story is absolutely incredible, and the voice acting and the performance is amazing, and Naughty Dog is amazing. Yeah, just like the zombie survival if you haven't played it, but the story is what it's at, and the characters
Yeah.
is what makes you fall in love with that.
I also enjoyed the I'm in cover and there's guys around and I need to craft a Molotov cocktail as
That's
fast as
true.
I can. Like that was a feeling I've
Yeah.
never really gotten in a game before.
Like
and that was
real
cool.
time opening your backpack and crafting a med kit
Yeah.
or a bomb, something like that.
Hmm.
It's a really good game. But
Yeah.
the story, like I said, is where it's at.
Yeah, that's a game I still need to finish.
Guys, we've moved to top 4.
Top 4, number 4.
Ryan.
Gotta say Minecraft.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've put a ton of time into this game. I've a very creative mind. So just being, and I think I mentioned it last week about like the castle I would constantly build and all. This game, I spent so much time. I've just built some of the weirdest things. I've put making out of colored wool. I've put logos on my castles. I've put logos in the ground. I've made barns. I've made full cities. I've made sky trains. I spent so much time in this game, and even when you're just mining mindlessly, somehow that's fun. I don't know how they did it, but
It's a great game.
they made a good game there. So that's my number.
It's because
4.
of its soothing music while you're mining.
Yeah, that too.
Don't do that.
For me, the fun part of Minecraft was me and a friend of mine, Ben, would sit down and we would go like, what is some weird idea we could like? What's something we think we could maybe make with redstone and minecart tracks?
Nice.
And then we would spend hours building like our system of like minecart switching and like automatic things to like bring us down. Like
cool.
all my time, like I didn't really do a lot of the mining. The only reason I would mine was to get materials to make weird stuff with redstone. So yeah,
It's a weird, both different approaches to Minecraft. So
I remember always playing with you, and I'd always go
Yeah.
exploring, and you'd always be building the home and making
I always
everything.
build the stuff. I was the builder.
I'm a
Such
builder
fun
too,
game.
AJ.
Such a fun game, though. You can't discount Minecraft for what it's done.
yeah. No, it's a phenomenon for sure.
If I'm a builder, you're a builder.
We're all builders here.
We're all builders now.
Yeah, that's right.
We're all builders now.
Exactly.
All right.
Jordan?
My
Number four.
number four.
Number 4.
Number 4. You guys, I don't know, maybe you guys have played this, but I know AJ's going to be like, I knew I should have put this on my list.
Okay.
But it's Final Fantasy 7. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core for the PSP.
Oh my goodness. I
Called it.
totally forgot about that
It
game.
was-
Do you want to know how many Final Fantasy games I played?
0.
0. I'm a disappointment to everyone.
It's really funny. I've never actually played Final Fantasy 7, but I've watched Final Fantasy 7 movie, and I've played Crisis Core, and I've played what was that other 7?
The Vincent
thing.
one?
Yeah.
The one with Vincent?
Yeah, I played that one too. So I played like everything apart from the
You played the
original.
spin-offs.
I played the spin-off. But man, yeah, Crisis Core, that was such an emotional roller coaster.
PSP.
And it was for the PSP only. So it was really different. It was a really easy title to miss, but it was such a great
It
title.
was the origin of...
I don't think I've cried so much in a game than I have in
and it was
that one.
the origin of Cloud's sword.
Exactly.
Oh,
So-
really?
Yeah.
It was
As
really cool.
somebody who didn't like Final Fantasy VII that much, but really loves Cloud's sword, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's a beautiful game.
Right
That's
on.
all I'll say.
Moving along, Josh, number 4.
Yeah, I have a number 4. And so I didn't want to do this, but I did it twice on my list of 2 games from the same developer.
Whoa.
But whatever. Breath of the Wild is my number 4.
Whoa.
Oh, I still need to
Legend of
play it.
Zelda.
I still want to play that game
And
too.
the reason it's so good,
I heard
Or-
it's okay.
it's all right. The reason I loved it so much was the way that they handled the press going into that game. Like when I get interested in a game, I watch every trailer and like I don't know, I slow-mo through them and like pick things out and like try and get as much info out of it as I possibly can. And I thought I knew a lot about this game going into it. Turns out I didn't. I got a lot wrong, and that was really good. Like sometimes, I figure out, like sometimes I see the last boss of a game before it's out, right? And this was a game that didn't happen. And they even did things like, for example, in all of the press, you never see any NPCs. Like it's always Link running around fighting guys and jumping and climbing.
Yeah.
But you never saw cities and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if they took all that stuff out. But they totally didn't. And all the city stuff and all the village stuff is still really cool and really good.
I haven't seen any of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's weird that they did it that way, but it's really rewarding when you realize like, oh, Zora's domain is totally in this game, and it was like it's a fully fleshed out city with Zoras. Like they don't really do that a lot.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
A lot.
I'm excited to play it.
I'm excited now, actually.
It's really
Holy
good.
crap. I don't know if I got this much hype like in my body right now.
I haven't really played a Zelda game before either. Once again, I'm a disappointment. But this is one game that I've actually considered buying a Switch for.
You should. Like I
So-
bought a Switch for it,
Yeah.
and it was worth it. Like it also solves it was a problem I didn't know I had with Legend of Zelda games until I realized I had it, was movement. And because you get a paraglider right away, it's a lot of jumping off of things and sailing, and
Yeah.
it just feels like it's one of those games where you think like, okay, I have these tools available to me, and I have a problem in front of me, and I can solve this any way I want. And there's like 7 different ways to solve this problem, and you can just do it. Like if I want to light grass on fire to create an updraft, to throw a bomb in so the bomb will go up in the air and land on this platform to blow something up, you can totally do that. So
Nice.
yeah, that game's cool.
All right, moving along. AJ, number 4.
My number 4 is Dragon Age Origins.
I didn't
Yeah.
know what
I'm
Dragon
glad
Age was going to
somebody
pop up
mentioned
on
it.
a list here.
Yeah, you did.
I'm
Well, I
surprised no
forgot.
Mass Effects have come up yet, but maybe we'll get there.
Maybe. Oh yeah, Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah,
man,
now
come on.
Mass Effect.
No, we won't. Okay.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins. I'll just a little quick story is that I tried that game for an hour, thought it was complete crap, and then I picked it up again and I did not put it down until I beat it. And it's one of those games where I actually beat. Like if I actually beat the game, I know because I don't beat very many games nowadays, but I actually beat that game to completion, and I loved every minute of it. It's once again, it's one of those like D&D squad based. But you don't put your names for anything, but a D&D pause and play. Allocate which player attacks what enemy, and level up system. It's a really really good RPG. It's one of the best RPGs I've ever played.
Nice.
Right on.
CRPG.
We've reached top 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the top 3.
All right.
Here we go.
Number 3.
This is when it's going to get really hard.
And I think we're gonna have a lot of repeats up here too.
Maybe. I think I know I have probably.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
one that I know
know
that's going to
one.
be a repeat for Josh and AJ for sure.
Yeah, and probably Jordan.
Probably true.
Number 3, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Ah, there was what?
maybe.
No, no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Whoa, I was like, what? You played that?
No, my
You like
my
the fancy freaky legs?
Too freaking Nope, sorry. New name for the episode. Fancy
Okay.
freaky leg.
no. My number 3 is these games are not that much different, so I lumped them into a whole. It's the NBA 2K franchise.
Sports.
Sports ball.
Sports guys.
That's something that's really underrated. Like you don't normally hear that, but those sport games are really solid.
Well, the amount of hour. Well, because real quick here, EA Sports was kind of in the early mid 2000s was kind of dominating kind of all sports for games and whatnot. But then in 2008 and it was one of those years, NBA 2K started getting more on the scene. I know they had a couple of titles before that, but that's kind of when people started moving more to 2K, and now 2K is the standard for an NBA game. And EA's kind of had to play a lot of catch-up, and they're not really doing a great job. But yeah, I've put so many hours into these games. At least every other year, usually I'll get one. So I can't really narrow it down to which one I preferred the most. It'd probably be like 11, 12, or 14. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Number
Nice.
3.
Jordan, number 3.
This is really tough for me since we're getting to the top 3 now.
Oh boy.
But for number 3, I'd have to say Dark Souls. I'm surprised no one has mentioned it. It's probably up there for someone else.
Yeah.
But number 3,
We've yet to hear
Dark
it from the other
Souls.
two.
I know. Dark Souls is just such a great game. When it first came out, well, it was actually Demon Souls.
Yeah, good old Demon Souls.
Good old Demon Souls.
You're
for
welcome.
The PS3. Yep. And that was a ton of fun. And then moving into Dark Souls, that was actually only one of the very few games that I actually tried to do a speed run for.
Oh.
And I've played it quite a few times, and I know like all the shortcuts in the game.
Did you do any % or all bosses?
Just all bosses.
All bosses. Cool.
I love that game.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. Number 3, Josh.
My number 3 is Bloodborne.
Oh.
Souls.
Interesting.
Souls.
Is it because there's no shields?
No.
Except for one.
I mean, I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, if you use a shield in Dark Souls, you're bad at the game. Like, I don't know. You play however you want. There actually is a shield in Bloodborne, by the way. It's
There
just
is.
really bad.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. But I think there's actually 2 with the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, Bloodborne, the reason I love Bloodborne is because I love Eldritch Horror. And not a lot of stuff does Eldritch Horror not a lot of stuff does Eldritch Horror correctly. And Bloodborne totally does.
The atmosphere of this game was
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, it's insane.
Incredible.
There. I'll share real quick. There was actually when this game came out, all 4 of us with some other people were in the same room with different PS4s, different TVs.
That was
all
a lot of fun.
we
That was
started
so
from
much
scratch
fun.
and we played through it.
Yeah,
It was,
we all brought our own TVs. We
Yeah.
brought our own PS4s. We just like covered Jordane's basement with TVs
Yeah.
and PS4s, and just had a blast.
there
to
was like
do that
6
again.
of us.
There
playing.
was, yeah.
I
That
think
was
we
so
played
much
for like
fun.
almost 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we
Oh, that's right. Because
Yeah.
we stayed the night.
we
Oh my
stayed the night and
goodness.
played in the morning.
Oh wow.
Oh.
I remember us all getting to Gascoigne at different parts and just getting wrecked.
Well, I remember you guys were all kind of going quick, and I was just running the same area constantly, leveling up. And you guys are like, "Why don't you go fight a boss?" I'm like, "Give me time." And I ran through 3 bosses so quick because I was too overpowered for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that game is something special. And one thing that like it has a lot of games for me, like if they scratch like one certain like really specific nerd itch, like it'll get me. And for me in this one, it was trick weapons. Like having the weapons. So trick weapons in Bloodborne are your weapons instead of the ability to block. What you gain is the ability to have your weapon go from one form to another form. So sometimes it was as simple as like your weapon being like a saw that was sheathed up to a saw that would extend out, or another trick weapon that I really liked was the Kirk hammer. So it was a sword, and then on your back was this like big, massive iron that you would stick the sword into, and it
I
became
used
a
that.
huge hammer. But my favorite weapon in the game was Ligarius's wheel, which was this like ridiculous side quest to get this weapon. But it's just this wheel, like a giant wagon wheel, and you could like hold it in front of you and spin it up, and then it would like rev up, and you would go hit people with it. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
It's like a chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm going to be bold here and actually say that I will Bloodborne. I'll put that on my honorable mention.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan and I actually have a fun story about Bloodborne that maybe we'll share if we ever talk about co-op some point in the future.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite gaming moments of all time.
It was a whole lot of fun.
I was crying, laughing so hard.
AJ, what have you got for number 3?
Number 3.
Number
Sticking
3.
on the Souls train. Dark Souls 1.
There we
Just
go.
like Jordan. It was hard
Wow.
when number 3. It was almost 2.
Yeah.
But Dark Souls 1, just real quick, it's the lore. It's the atmosphere. It's the mechanics. It's the interwoven, world. And
That's the
one
boarhead.
of my favorite things.
Yeah.
about
The
Dark
world
Souls.
building.
One.
I'm saving my opinions on Dark Souls for a certain reason, but yeah, the way that the world like overlapped on itself, and you could take an elevator and go, I wonder where this is going. And you're like, no way, I'm back
Yeah.
like 4 hours ago, and how does this connect?
And the moment you find a shortcut and you step into that first time you step into Firelink Shrine again, and you're like, oh my goodness,
Yep.
It's so cool.
it's great. Well, Dark Souls 1, man.
Dark Souls 1 is a
Souls
special
1.
game.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're about to get around to it again soon. But moving on to our top 2, number 2 for me is the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
It's not your number
2?
9?
Number 2. What?
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 Never mind.
So we kind of skipped it when AJ mentioned it. So Ryan, tell me why Elder Scrolls is your number 2.
Oh, what can I say about this game? The music, that just gives you this incredible atmosphere. The setting, there's so much detail everywhere. I just remember the first time I went up to the throat of the world, and you're just kind of like looking out over the land, and it's just, it's phenomenal. Everything, the combat was, to me, just like perfect for an open world game like this. The leveling up system, you could cheese it if you want, which I've done on some of my playthroughs, but you can play through normally as well. Yeah, all the different weapons, all the guys. This is an amazing game.
It
your
is a
baby.
great game.
Yeah,
And you could get mods for it too.
Oh,
I'd-
mods made it so much.
I didn't play
so
too
good.
much mods because the first time I played was 360. Second time I played was on Steam, and then I played it for a third time on PS4 when it just came out. So I've bought it a couple of times and played through it a few times.
That's
So
when
yeah,
you know you love a game.
yeah,
That's right.
I have so many hours locked into Skyrim.
yeah.
So-
I couldn't even begin to count it.
It's tough. I'm sorry.
So that's my number 2, guys.
Jordan, what you got?
Number
All right.
2.
Number 2. I hope you guys are ready for this
I'm
one.
looking at you.
You guys are probably thinking what I'm going to say.
I don't
You
know.
probably
I
think
don't know.
You think
I
it's,
think
you think it
maybe.
starts. You think it starts with an M?
Maybe.
Maybe
An M.
an M.
Metroid Other M.
Maybe.
What is it, Jordan?
What is it? Well,
Oh, of
It
course. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
is
Wait.
The Witcher 3
Oh,
Wild Hunt
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this
I
is.
knew it'd be on your list somewhere.
That doesn't start with an M.
I know.
Oh,
I thought that'd be your number one though. Honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
really?
We'll see.
Well, it was tough for me to say that, but I thought about it, and The Witcher 3 is such a well-crafted game that everything is solid. You could have a potato of a computer, and the game will still run beautifully. It's so well optimized, and everything about it is amazing. The characters in the game, all the quests, the open world, the graphics were amazing. And it's just such a great game where you could play Gwent and collect all the cards.
Gwent.
that's all you do.
That's all you
Just
do.
play the game
Gwent is
within
his
the game.
number
And it-
0, actually. It's above all else.
Above everything.
But it's such an emotional story too, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
And
Very
I've played the other Witchers as well.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of the franchise.
Cool. All right, Josh.
Number 2.
So I'm going to say the name of my number 2 and then skip it for a reason that's about to become obvious. My number 2 is Shadow of the Colossus.
Ah, yes, somebody mentioned it.
All right,
And I'll hand it over to AJ.
AJ, number 2.
Monster Hunter
Monster
3DS. This is my second one.
3DS.
Yeah, that was actually when Jordan said the letter M, I realized Monster Hunter should be on my list, but it's not, and I'm glad it's on yours.
And the reason is I think we've talked about before, and I won't get too into it, but I've played since the very, very beginning, and something about it just like hit every itch of like, man, there should be a game like this, and there is a game like this, and I've loved it ever since, and I'm super excited for Monster Hunter World. I'm so
Oh, yeah.
excited.
Nice.
But yeah, Monster Hunter 2.
All right.
Number 2.
Cool.
Now we're on number 1.
Guys, we've made it.
One.
Number
one.
one.
We should all do it at the same time.
Number 1.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That actually sounded really epic. Good job, guys.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys.
And I just ruined it there. Okay, number 1. I'm cheating a bit again.
It's okay. We
The-
all cheat over.
Can't do that.
Don't say Oblivion.
No, I played Oblivion, but I played it after I played Skyrim. Don't do that. Play Oblivion first.
Play Oblivion 5 years ago.
Yeah. No, play Oblivion 6 years ago. Skyrim came out. No, more than that. Skyrim came out 6 years ago.
Don't say that.
What
Say
the
that.
heck?
Don't say that.
Okay. No, my number 1 is the Batman Arkham series.
Oh, yeah, that's
Wow.
a good one.
I was
Containing-
not expecting that to be your number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
It is
Oh.
a good game,
I
though.
feel like
The
I've talked
Joker-
about it enough.
Yeah.
The Joker is
But yeah, all 4, I include Origins in that. Some people didn't like it. I enjoyed it as well. If I had to pick one, I would probably say Arkham City, just with how much that game opened up. I
Wow.
loved Asylum, and I probably beat an Asylum the most, but I found myself in Arkham City more just because when you get into that, because Arkham Asylum, it was quote unquote an open world, but it was still somewhat linear. Whereas Arkham City, you're in Arkham City, like you're there, and you're just you're the freaking Batman.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say.
That's all you gotta say.
The only reason
I'm Batman.
I put Origins above City just for the Batmobile.
Wait, you? Oh no,
Or-
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. Yeah, Arkham Knight. I put above City just because you have access to the Batmobile. But
Yeah,
Mm.
I would probably go City, and then I'd probably actually tie Asylum and Knight for number 2, and then my number. Well, I guess by real numbering order, 4 would be Arkham Origins. And
kind of side thing. Did you guys ever hear about that secret room that wasn't found for years in Arkham Asylum that
No.
teased the second game?
Mm-mm.
In the warden's office, one of the walls completely unmarked. If you put 3 of the explosion gels on it and blow it up, shows opens up into a room that has concept art for the second game. And people didn't find it
Whoa.
until
No
years
way.
after release. Yeah,
no way.
That's
like
the
one-
stuff I live for. Right
that's one of
there.
my favorite Easter eggs of just like insanity.
Huh.
That's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, on to your
Number 1.
Number 1. I think you all know what my number 1 is.
I thought it was going to be Dark Souls, so now I'm confused. But I think it's
For Honor 2.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but I was in the future and I saw how awesome it was. That's definitely that's not even number 1. That's number 0.
What is that?
It's Monster Hunter.
Hey.
Monster
there.
Hunter.
See, I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't think you were as into that game as you are.
Oh no, I'm totally way into that
2
game.
and
I've
1,
played almost every single
Yeah,
Monster
me
Hunter
and
one.
Jordan are veterans, man. I keep telling
Pretty
you.
much.
Monster Hunter is special, but it's one of those things that you have to. It's kind of like learning an instrument ish. Like it's really hard to get into.
Yeah.
But once you understand the flow and the rhythm and realize what it's trying to do, it just grabs you.
Yeah,
You just-
I think I would be less attracted to Monster Hunter now if I didn't start playing Monster
Yeah.
Hunter because it is like a little bit of a learning. You learn a little bit this
Yeah.
one, then you learn a bit more in the next one, and then you keep learning
Yeah.
more and more things in the new Monster Hunter games. And it's great. Monster Hunter is one of those games where you pretty well restart from the beginning. It's always the same game, but you still play it, and
Yeah.
it's still a lot of fun. And that's what's great about Monster Hunter. And I'm
Yeah.
super excited for Monster Hunter World. And I even bought the Japanese version for Monster Hunter Freedom G rank or
I think
something,
it-
something like that.
That's
so
totally the name.
Japanese. So
Yeah.
Japanese.
And I bought that, and I actually played the Japanese version. For
I
a bit.
remember hooking up this weird device,
Yep, the
to your
Wi-Fi
computer.
Max. Yep.
the Wi-Fi Max, and you have this own little side program, and you open up, and it's really, really bad, and like you click on these worlds, and you open it up, and you can talk through your computer while you're playing your PSP, because this is on PSP,
Yep.
because you have to hack your PSP. And I remember playing that with Jordan,
Yep.
and being so
Um,
incredibly awesome.
It was pretty awesome. Once we figured out how to play online without
Yeah.
having to
Yeah.
be in the same room.
Yeah, I'll have you know, Monster Hunter was it flowed from 2 and 1. Like it was really hard from 2 and 1.
Fair.
And it jumped consoles so many
Yeah, it
times.
did. I'm glad it's back to
Yeah.
its baby.
Yeah.
All
Back
right.
to Sony.
Moving along.
Number
Josh.
one.
Number one,
Number one.
I think you guys know what it is. It's Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Souls.
And it's Dark Souls because Dark Souls was the game that changed me as a gamer. Like it's what really set
Yeah.
my interests into motion.
Yeah.
Obscure lore or just like different forms of storytelling. And it's also a game that, well, it's genre defining, right? Like any of those games that come out now, like what's that one in space and you're like a loader mech guy? You know that one?
Loader
No.
Mech. Dead Space?
No, it's exactly like a Souls game.
Oh, I know what you're talking
But
about.
but that's the thing, like Souls game or like Soulsborne, right? Like it's a genre defining
It's
game.
a genre now.
Demon Souls, like technically was the real genre definer, but Dark Souls was the one that hit the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And it's the perfect one in my opinion. It
Mhm.
ticks all of the boxes that make those games good, whereas the rest of the games don't necessarily. Like its world was interconnected in the best way, or its bosses were the best, and it's kind of like overarching story was the best because Miyazaki, the developer of the game, intended it to be a one-off like Demon Souls was, but because it was so successful, Namco Bandai made them make more. And
Good.
I mean,
Right.
it's good for us, but it's bad for the story because it like everything else is just kind of tacked on,
Right.
right? And so a little disappointing that way, but no, Dark Souls 1 to me is a skill. It's one of those things where like once you've played enough of the Souls games, you acquire like the ability to play any of them pretty competently. And it is a learning curve, and that learning curve is a wall, but every time you climb another inch or two up that wall, the feeling is just so gratifying of like I beat this boss, I beat that boss, I got a little bit farther, I upgraded my weapon. There's something to that game that is just perfect. Like, and I go back and play that game all the time. It is special.
It's a special game.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
So.
I still remember when I got it on Steam and you saw me playing. You're like, you messaged me right away, like, yes, finally.
Yeah. And like I know I shove it down in a lot of my friends' throats, but I don't know. It's just like, and there's a whole Souls community online. Like when people see other people playing it on Twitch, and like a lot of people go and tell them like, "Oh, you're playing it wrong," and like all that's fueled by those people who are so passionate about it and want other people to experience it the way they experienced it, right? And
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that feeling. And
But some people experience it like an idiot, like me.
you'll get through it one day, bud.
One
There's
day.
no wrong way to experience something. It's your own
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, you can dual wield shields and beat that game. Like, come on, man.
I still remember how they have I don't know, those characters that disappear once you kill them. And there was
Oh, yeah, the knights.
yeah. There was a guy up a tower and you're like, you shouldn't go up there. And I just went up there anyway. And that's how I play Dark Souls. Don't do that. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah. But the thing about that game too is like because it's a skill, you can come back to that tower later, and like the next time you play that game for the first time, like oh yeah, I'll just beat him, right? Like it's cool.
I beat him.
Nice.
I did it.
You did.
Good job.
AJ,
So my number one
Number one.
our
is
last
Shadow
number one.
of the Colossus
That's right.
for me. It's still like number 1, 2, and 3 are very, we can switch depending on my mood. But Shadow of the Colossus, there's just something about that game that, well, I know why, but like something about that game that just was just so beautiful, and the unexpectedness of the ending is, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but you have to experience the ending of Shadow of the Colossus. You really do.
Yeah.
Because, and I'll just a little brief thing about it is it lets you do something you wouldn't think would happen.
Yeah.
It's very vague, but it lets you take control at a thing where you wouldn't think would ever happen.
I think I spoiled it an episode or two ago.
Wow.
So if you've forgotten, then good.
That's
but
good.
yeah,
That's fine.
but
I've
you should,
forgotten.
you should experience it.
You should definitely experience it. And, just going back to when Josh talked about, Arkham Asylum and about how that secret room they've never, haven't found in years. Like, Shadow Colossus has that same feel. And I think I've talked about it before, but this forum about Shadow Colossus and how, how vast that world is. And it feels like there's secrets there, and it feels like there's things that should be there, but it's only the Colossus and people just trying to figure out mysteries about that garden and like all these things, and people are still to this day are trying to look for things and secrets of like maybe there's a secret Colossus and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like that game is incredible. It's a masterpiece to me. It really is.
It's really good.
Masterpiece.
Well, that's one I know I'll be playing in 2018 when it comes to PS4.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah.
We will.
And beat it. Not like Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, I'm going to eventually beat, but
No,
I might
I
be
think-
75 and
I
in a
think-
wheelchair.
I think we should sit down and just get through it. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Dark Souls?
Maybe we should do a Ryan Plays Dark Souls.
I think so. That would be absolutely incredible.
So, fair warning, we're going to have to get used to bleeping me out.
I'm thinking we'll keep the podcast safe for work just because it's one of those things where maybe you can't control what audience is around. But for if we do branch into gameplay stuff, we won't be. We'll just because that's just a lot of, I'd rather if that's the emotion we're experiencing at the time, I'd rather us be able to show that.
Part-time allies
Yeah.
after hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
After hours with Ryan getting mad at Dark Souls.
That's right.
Part-time ally.
Right on.
So that was a big...
That was a big segment, and normally we follow up our big segments with a story. But this week we're going to skip the story because of time constraints, so look forward to a story from Ryan about comics next week.
We will be talking about comics.
So that brings us to Something Ever, which was my suggestion for this week.
And it's kind of related to
related.
what we just talked
It is.
about.
It is. And it's our favorite game developer, person or company. You get to choose.
All right.
So,
Do we want to keep same order?
Sure. Ryan, start us off.
Let's do it. So when I saw this question, I was initially kind of thinking, what is Josh thinking? Like, who pays attention to developers that much? Because I recognize them and everything, but that's not really what I look for when I play a game. So I got to thinking, and I don't necessarily have a top one. I'll just name the ones that I do enjoy, and a bunch of them came from the list I just shared. So Bethesda, for instance, that's one I enjoyed Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Rocksteady, they made the Batman Arkham series. Epic Games, they made the Gears of War trilogy, and Bulletstorm, which I got a PS4 Xbox One re-release, which was weird, but I don't think I would get it for that. Whatever. Epic Games, I would probably throw Bungie in there just for... Halo's a classic. You can't really go wrong with that series. Bungie didn't do it, but I did enjoy Halo 4 as well. Never played Halo 5. And I would just say Nintendo in general.
Yeah, Nintendo, I mean, I'll get to that a little bit in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
But Nintendo does some cool stuff.
Yeah, and I would say 2K as well. Specifically for NBA, because they kind of revolutionized sports games for me, because I still played them and enjoyed them, but I never made them such a huge time investment as I did for the 2K series. if I had to pick one, I might say Rocksteady, because they kind of define. Like, no one had made a good superhero game
Yeah.
until Batman Arkham
Yeah, that's
City.
true.
Right.
Or, sorry, Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it fits. That's your number one game then.
It does.
Yeah.
Right on. So, Jordan.
It's a tough battle for number one.
We might have some overlap, maybe.
Maybe.
Possible.
It's-
I don't think anyone else is going to have my number one, but I think our honorable mentions will
Yeah.
probably.
I know who your number one is.
I'm gonna
I
have
do
to
too.
say my number one. This is tough for me, but my number one would be CD Projekt.
The Witcher.
CD Projekt Red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Witcher.
It's the Witcher game, the Witcher franchise, and just because they spend so much time developing a game to make it so perfect, and they really appreciate their community. I remember buying The Witcher 3, opening the case, and I had a little thank you letter in there for buying the game.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember reading that for Witcher 3, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so nice that the developers really appreciate their audience, and they really work hard to put out an exceptional product. And The Witcher 3 definitely delivered, and I'm really excited for their next one. But the one that I was having a really hard time with is Capcom or
Yeah.
CD Projekt, just because Capcom had so many games that I played when I was younger, and it also started the Monster Hunter franchise as well.
Were
And
they
it's-
were they Monster Hunter and Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
and Dead
wow.
Rising.
And
Yeah.
did wow.
Capcom, brother.
Capcom's great.
And Marvel versus Capcom.
There you
Yeah.
go.
They had a really good run, although lately
They've been
a little bit.
iffy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and honorable mention, Dead Planet, or what's that game called? Death Planet. Oh gosh, I don't know. You're a guy and you can like turn it 90 degrees and you have a grappling hook and you get in mechs and you're on a Lost Planet.
There you go.
That's the
You
game
said
I'm thinking
Max, and I was
yeah.
going to say Titanfall.
Yeah, I was going to say that
Not
too.
Titanfall.
Oh.
No, Lost Planet.
Yeah, going back, Titanfall 2, that's in my honorable mentions. That campaign, I cried at the end.
I've heard that campaign.
You
is
know,
good.
you know, a game is good when you cry at the end.
That's
yeah.
right.
All right.
Right on.
So CD Projekt Red from Jordan.
Yep.
Josh, what is your developer person or company?
Mine's a person.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Ryan, what's his name start with?
It starts with H and rhymes with Hideo Kojima.
Yeah. My number one is Hideo Kojima. He is just something else.
He's an entity.
He is an entity. And I don't
I have
know.
so much I don't really play his games. Like, I played Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for him.
I've
So
got
much
to.
respect.
I want to sit down one day with you, Ryan, and just talk about the lore of Metal Gear Solid. It's insane. It's just so.
Algebra.
It's just so messed up. Yeah, it's definitely the beautiful mind thing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just so excited to see what he does with Death Stranding. I cannot wait for that.
His
And even
mind.
just like his little bit of directorial work on PT, like the fact that a demo is like 3 of our scariest game of all time
yeah.
is an achievement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something special.
Bing! Achievement unlocked.
Hideo Kojima is awesome. 100G. But yeah, no, Hideo Kojima. Ugh. And one honorable mention that hasn't been mentioned yet is Rockstar. Despite their business practices, Grand Theft
yeah.
Auto is insane, especially 5. I did I cut 5 from my list? I think I did. I just cut it at last minute. But Grand Theft Auto 5 is, in terms of like just like a cool heist movie game thing, is awesome.
It's
So,
definitely
Yeah.
another solid game.
Yeah.
Another solid game.
Yeah, and even Red Dead Redemption was really good too.
Oh,
yep, it
I
was.
want to play that game so bad. I didn't buy it because I think it only came out on the Xbox, right?
No.
It was eventually re-released on. Oh gosh, actually, you know what? Is it on PS3?
Not
I
sure. I
think
think
it
so.
is.
I don't know. I don't think it was, but I remember I didn't buy it because I was going to wait for it to come on the PC because I know they had Grand Theft Auto. I was like, it's going to come on PC in like 2 years and I'll get it then and I'll play it. But I still really want to play it. I've been itching to play a cowboy game for a really long time.
hits
A
that
Western
itch.
game? Okay.
I spent a lot of time jumping on trains.
I want to play it now that I've watched like Westworld.
Wait, have you never played it either?
No.
Oh,
But I
really?
watched-
We
yeah.
need to play it.
So when I typed in Red Dead Redemption on Google, the first picture that came up was a PS3 box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Hmm.
I'll have to pick it up
I have to pick it up and
and
we'll
play it.
play through.
Right on. AJ.
So mine, some honorable mentions, Square Enix, Hideo Kojima, Naughty Dog, Capcom, Nintendo, Bethesda.
Naughty Dog.
But mine is a person and a company from software, Hidetaka Miyazaki. Dark Souls. So, I feel like you could close the book on them right now, and their legacy would stand the test of time because Dark Souls itself redefined, how we interact with enemies, locations, and lore. And like we've touched on before, it's a whole genre. And the creator, upon perfecting a formula, I believe, for a genre that of that genre, and now he's just got promoted to, as the president of the company.
Yeah, which in a way is kind of a bummer because he's going to have less involvement with any of their new projects. But
he had the most involvement with Dark Souls 1.
Yeah,
and that's his baby.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It's my baby.
I remember there was this one point in the game, and whoever designed this part of the game had a significant vision to be able to come up with this. And it might be a little bit cliche, but there was this one time when you're walking outside of the jungle, and it's starting to rain, and the rain starts to get more and more heavy, and there's this torrential downfall, and then you go out into this big opening and you see this huge castle in the background. And then as you enter this huge venue, you see lightning strike. And it just sets the mood for that entire level. And it was one of my favorite experiences to view in a Dark Souls game. It was just so amazing.
which is kind of ironic because Dark Souls 2, Miyazaki had almost nothing to do with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that part.
But it's from software.
It is from Soft, yeah. So his team worked on it, but
They redefined this genre, and this genre made all these games. And now, like Josh was saying, there's all these other games that you can call them, it's like Souls.
yeah.
And people latch onto it because that's a Souls-like game. People can make profit off it. And, it's not a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing. I don't know.
I like how all the developers we brought up kind of through their most popular games kind of revolutionized that kind of game. Like with what Jordan was saying, CD Projekt Red, they kind of, I felt like they kind of redefined some open world, but also kind of fan appreciation. I'd never seen something like that from a developer before. I know lots of developers are super appreciative, but I hear so many people mentioning with CD Projekt Red, they're so grateful for their fans and for the people who purchase their games and everything. And then what you were saying with, what else can you say about Hideo Kojima?
Oh man,
he's made some games. And then from software, obviously Dark Souls was a very, very different game. From anything that come out. Well, besides Demon Souls, but
had a kid.
And then what I was saying before with Rocksteady, there hadn't really been a good superhero game until Batman came out.
Defined.
Hey, Superman 64 was a gem.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
Oh man, 10 out of 10.
I love flying through rings.
Well, okay.
No, I'm kidding. It's
No. What I was gonna say was Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was, but there was kind of that lull in between because that came out in 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
That was a long 6 to 7 years until Arkham Asylum came out, and lots of failed attempts at a superhero game.
This is true. So, kind of pivoting a little bit, but kind of on topic. Taco for thought, what makes a console good?
If Skyrim is on it.
So every console.
Yeah.
It's even coming to Switch somehow. But it's an interesting discussion because I think Jordan mentioned this in episode 1 or 2, I can't remember, but humans belong, we love to get on tribes, right? We have that tribal, I love Ford, and Ford's the only truck I'll ever drive, despite if this year's bad, right?
I love For Honor, and that's I'm just kidding.
I'll only drink Coke products,
Skyrim on number 9. What the?
Yeah, exactly.
Skyrim's got to be in your top 3.
You don't like Overwatch, you're stupid, right?
We're just digging at everyone.
I digged this myself.
Yeah, you got himself there.
But no, it's something that we get a lot of, and you see it a lot in video game consoles as well, right? Mm-hmm. You have your Nintendo fanboys and your PlayStation guys, right?
Yeah.
And your Xbox fanboys. And for me, it comes down to your launch lineup and the way I don't really know how to word it. Like exclusives isn't what makes a console good. It's a mixture of like it's a mixture of exclusives, good partnerships with your third party developers, and just like a good console feel. Like the PS4, in my opinion, not including the Switch because it's kind of its own thing, won the battle between Xbox One and PlayStation. And the reason it did that was it had a feature called Suspend, which Xbox One doesn't have, which is the ability to put your PS4 into sleep mode and the RAM literally freezes for the game that you're playing and it just stops it.
Yeah.
And then you can turn the PlayStation back on and keep playing, right? And that's definitely one big factor. And they had a lot of, I think their exclusives are better, right? So that kind of puts me in that camp. But I don't know. It's interesting. Is there anything else that you guys think makes a console great?
I feel like it's not about the console anymore. I think it really is about the games, right? And I think that's what it should be. That should be. I know there's always wars, but I really feel like it's just love the games you're playing and get the console that that you want to play because of the games that you like. And I grew up with PlayStation, so I kind of grew up with the games. So that's why I bought a PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? But what makes the console good? I don't know. You know what I mean?
I was actually a Microsoft person.
Xbox
Before I got my PS4. I was mad 360 and I trashed on PS3. And even now having a PS4, I would still kind of trash on it because one,
PS3 wasn't that great.
No,
even as a fan.
Well, one of the things too for what I think makes a console good is the controller.
Mm.
The PS3 controller felt like crap to me.
I
couldn't hold that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to be said. Yeah. I have both an Xbox One controller. I have that really fancy one. I won it in a raffle.
Oh,
and so it's got a lot of weight to it. And I have a PS4 controller as well, and both can work with my PC. And if I'm going to use a controller, I use the Xbox One controller because it just feels good and has some heft to it. So that definitely gets some points there for sure.
Yeah, I will say this though, I found the 360 controller was kind of perfect.
Mm-hmm.
If you can call it controller perfect.
That's the one I use.
It's the one I use too.
But when the Xbox One came along, I didn't really like it wasn't too much different, but there were enough differences that I didn't really like it. And I've actually come to prefer the PS4 controller over that.
Interesting.
So I really dig the PS4 controller.
Yeah, the PS4 controller is easier for me to claw grip, which I don't know if you in listener world know what claw grip is, but it's where instead of having both of your thumbs on the thumbstick and like your fingers by the triggers, and then you move your thumb from the thumbstick to hit the face buttons. Some games, like a lot of the Souls games, you can get a little bit more accuracy out of what you're doing is if you move your pointer finger and kind of hook it onto the circle button or the B button on Xbox controller and leave your left thumb on the stick and hit your face buttons with the pointer finger. So it lets you, like in the Souls games, for example, it lets you move the camera while you're sprinting, which is a big deal. And I find it much more comfortable to do that grip on the PS4 controller than on the Xbox One controller.
Yeah.
So,
I have to say, the one thing I hate about the PS4 controller is the openness on the R2 and L2.
Yeah.
That is the worst because I remember I was playing a Souls game.
Oh, yeah.
And then I put my controller down and it was in front of an NPC because I wanted to get a snack. I'm like, oh, I'm safe here. And then I ended up hitting the NPC.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because strong attack is on R2. So when you put the controller down, it pushes it in a little bit. And
I have had that too. If I'm on Netflix or something and you set it down and all of a sudden it just flies through all the different movies and it's like, what's going on? Oh, it's on the R2 button.
Yeah, that's the one thing, and Jadena has a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of overall, and this brings Nintendo a little bit more into the equation, is build quality.
The GameCube was perfect.
The GameCube you could literally kill somebody with. There was a brick with a handle.
There were videos of people dropping it off of like super tall buildings, plugging it into a TV and playing it.
It was like the Nokia of consoles.
Yeah. Well, even the GameCube controller, like I've seen GameCube controllers last so long. The thing that'll wear out first is the stick, right?
The thing that wears out first is the cord.
Yeah, the cord, exactly, because the controller is so well built.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to note with the Switch is that thing looks professional. Like the Wii U tablet got a lot of flack for looking like a Fisher-Price toy.
Yeah.
Whereas the Switch is on the total opposite end. It looks like an Android tablet, and then you just like slide your controllers on the side. It's it's neat. Yeah.
It's well designed.
So what makes a console great?
I would agree with the titles, but as someone coming from Xbox 360, I played a lot of Gears of War. I played a lot of Halo. But that's about it.
Mm.
And then when I came to PS4, I was like, oh man, like they have a lot of big title exclusives. That like there's God of War, there's Uncharted. You have pretty much all those anime games that come out. Bloodborne was one that I was super pumped on to get for the PS4.
Did you say Last of Us already?
I didn't say Last of Us.
Last of Us.
That's another one. I'm
There's a
drawing
lot.
a blank here, but
There's a
yeah,
lot.
there's
Yeah.
and more recently Horizon Zero Dawn. Love
Oh, that
game.
was on PC too, though. But
It
yeah.
was.
But we're talking
But-
about consoles.
Yeah, consoles. One thing too I wanted to note was the ability to like influence the kind of times as to what the audience is looking for. Like Xbox 360 achievements was a huge thing for them. Like
Yeah.
I remember being a younger guy and being like, "Oh, I'm going to play this game a little bit more just to get a few more achievements out of it," right? Or like I'll consider this game 100% beat when I have all the achievements. And definitely that's not a thing anymore. I at least it's not a thing that affects me. But something that the PlayStation 4 got right was the ability to share content, like sharing your screenshots, or like we have a video of us doing that fun Bloodborne thing
Yeah.
that we'll talk about one day, right? And that wasn't possible on the PS3 or the Xbox 360, right?
Yeah.
Unless you had like a capture card or something. But the fact that it's built into the console makes things like that cool. So
yeah, for sure.
I think we can nail it down to 4 things: exclusives, build quality, and I'm gonna throw controllers in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You or like internals in terms of like build quality or like UI and like things you can do, or like just the design of the interface of the console. And my fourth one was controllers. So 3 things.
I'll just say really quick, one console that I feel, I don't know, people might disagree with me and hate me for this. One console where I think they did controllers the absolute worst and terribly, the Nintendo 64.
Yes.
when your controller has 3 handles for different grips, you know you did something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I'm like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I was a young kid. I'm like, what? How? What do I do? I don't have 3 hands.
Well, do you know when they were developing it? They were actually developing it for the aliens on Mars because
Oh.
they've got three
Oh,
hands.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, the more you know.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So we figured out what makes a console good.
We think.
We think. Next up, we have emails.
Let's get right to them.
Yeah.
We got a couple.
Do you want to read? Which one do you want to read, Ryan?
I'll read the one from Cole.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Cole. How's
Cole.
it going? Cole writes, hey, part-time allies. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Thanks, man. I'm only on the 2nd podcast, and I've skimmed through it because of work, but I'd happened to hear a story Josh told about my Dragon's Dogma character. So this Cole has been brought up before.
Yeah, this was the Cole where I would hire his pawn into my Dragon's Dogma world, and his pawn would just do nothing.
Yeah. This part's really funny. Just in case anyone wanted to know her name, it was Sylvia. Because of Goofy's girlfriend in the Extreme Goofy movie. Hashtag best movie ever.
That is the most Cole sentence I've ever read in my life.
The Goofy movie was amazing. I love the Michael Jackson character in that. Anyway, Yeltsin writes, and it was really annoying because she did suck, and Josh's pawn practically carried my team. I still have her on Xbox, so look out for her and send me gifts.
This is probably Xbox 360, so
Yeah.
good luck.
Side note, if you guys do a movie section or talk about the game Ark or Warhammer 2, let me know, and I will come be a guest speaker. Well, Cole, we might just do that.
Yeah, Cole works in the film industry, so he has some background knowledge on some stuff.
Name
Yeah,
drop.
he actually recently. I might not be allowed to mention that.
Probably
Okay,
not.
Perfect.
Keep it up, guys. You're killing it. With love from Rome, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's lying there.
I don't think he's in Rome.
Cole.
Thanks, Cole.
Thanks, Cole. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we only got 2 emails this week. Other email was from Chrissy, longtime listener to the podcast.
An actual long-time listener.
Yeah, we're actually
Like,
getting to
unlike
the
Cole.
point where she actually might be considered a long-time listener.
Yeah.
Because it's
2
been
whole years.
we're at episode 6, guys.
2 whole years.
Episode 2 whole years.
That's
It's been
so
2 years.
you can reframe that in your mind as a
month.
month and a half we've been doing this for.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's
Well,
kinda crazy.
I just gotta say, Chrissy, we appreciate your continued listening
Mhm.
and your continued input and emails into the podcast.
So let's read that email right here. It says, "Welcome back, Jordan and Ryan."
Thank you.
Hey, you've been back for a while now, but welcome back. No, just kidding. It's good to hear the 4 of you again. Like I said before, I love the chatter between you 4. Thank
Lots
you.
of chatter.
Thanks.
We're
we love it
rabbits.
too. That's why we decided to make this a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Here lies the notes for the week. AJ, go play Inside and Limbo right now.
I beat Limbo.
You beat Limbo?
Oh, there you go.
Just starting inside.
Nice.
Nice.
I've never played them, but I watched them get played, and they are amazing. So thought-provoking. They are. Inside goes places.
Spoilers.
Yeah. I
will.
finished Attack on Titan, and it's awesome. Wait, all of it? Like season 1 and 2?
Yeah, that's what I was good.
Jeez.
Next time you email us, let us know if you finished season 2 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
let
you,
us know.
And if you did, go back and listen to our spoiler cast about it on episode 3.
And if you didn't watch it, get on that. Season 2 is epic.
Season 2 is really cool, and like such a shift as to what season 1 was.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for recommending it. Hands down my favorite anime, but I've only watched 2. I'm watching Death Note, and so far it's really gripping. Just finished the 2nd episode. Yeah, Death Note's cool. Death Note also
really good.
changes halfway through in a way that I didn't expect, but
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll get there. And please recommend more. This is interesting. I think maybe we should do a roundtable and recommend one anime for somebody who's a few animes in.
My
Not a-
Hero Academia.
Real quick then.
Wow, Ryan, really? You were fast on that.
It took no time at all.
No, it didn't.
Finger on the trigger.
No, I just got to say, I'm recommending that real quick just because Attack on Titan, yeah, it's really good, but it makes you feel like crap. You feel so terrible.
Yeah.
And My Hero, when it was coming out, season 2, I would watch an episode of my Attack on Titan. I would feel like crap, but then I'd get to watch My Hero Academia, and that is such an uplifting, awesome, feel-good anime, and it's got superheroes, and it's got All Might, #1 hero.
But it's not that you feel like crap. It's just like the intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just feel sad after.
Yeah, you do. Because you want to watch another one.
But yeah, My Hero definitely brings that around. Although My Hero has oh, I feel kind of like bad at this situation, but the redemption arc is so good that
Yeah.
I feel good now.
But the redemption happens soon,
Yeah.
as opposed to Attack on Titan.
Which happens never.
We've been waiting for 2 seasons.
Yep. Jordan, do you watch any anime?
I used to watch it more. I haven't really watched it too much now, just because I don't.
No time.
I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, fair.
Responsibilities of being an adult. You have to do a lot of different things, like just maintenance, cleaning up, going to work. Boring things, but
Yeah.
it's
Old
required.
Yep.
And I'd say one of the first animes that I got into, I think AJ mentioned it. It was Samurai Champloo.
Samurai
Samurai
Champloo.
Champloo is
I enjoyed that a lot, and it's not too long. You could finish it
24.
pretty quickly. There's 2 seasons,
mhm.
No, yeah, I mean, it's 24 episodes, so.
24 episodes,
That's it.
so it's a nice quick one you could watch.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
soon.
significantly more grounded than a lot of other anime. It feels like, more or less this kind of could have happened in feudal Japan.
It's, what I like about it is it's the mix of, feudal Japan with hip-hop, modern-day hip-hop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
They kind of intermingle that.
It's got some style.
It's really freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's a good recommendation. AJ, what's yours?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's
Hmm.
a huge one.
I second that.
64 episodes long, but it is an
Me too.
epic series. It's better than the first one because there's the
like
Full
Lord of the
Metal
Rings of
Alchemist
anime.
original, and has all the same voice actors and stuff, sort of. But Brotherhood is closer to the manga, and
The dub is amazing.
the dub is probably hands down. I will fight you. This is the best dub in anime. This is the best dub in anime.
Oh, you want to fight, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. I think so. And yeah, it's an epic tale, and it's adult, and it's real, and it's fun.
Right on. Mine's definitely you have to take a leap of faith on this
Oh
one,
no,
but it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
it's
Yep.
good.
It is its own thing. Like, I mean, a lot of anime is its own thing,
Yeah.
but JoJo is just weird in a cool way. And so if you're gonna watch it, I highly recommend watching everything from season 1 to season 4. Technically, that's out now. But season 1 is quite old, it was filmed, I think, 20 years before any of the other stuff was. So if you want to see kind of what JoJo ends up becoming, watch the first few episodes of Season 3, Stardust Crusaders. That'll get you a good feel as to the kind of humor and action you're going to be expecting out of it. Because Season 1 has kind of a slow start.
Yeah, I would say with Season 1, as someone who was kind of disappointed when I started it, I would say watch if after the first 3 or 4 and you're like, I don't really want to watch this anymore, just hold on for a little bit longer. You will learn to appreciate it more, and it does get better.
Yeah. I watched the JoJo's in some like weird machete order, so I watched all of Season 3 first, started Season 4, and then got interested in the lore and went back and watched Seasons 1 and 2. And you can totally do it like that if you want to. It actually kind of gives some characters some backstory that you aren't necessarily expecting out of their current character. But yeah, it's cool. All right, moving on. So we're going to kind of skim through a little bit quicker. She saw Baby Driver and Spider-Man, liked them both, but chose Baby Driver as her favorite.
Yeah.
In brackets. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, just going to go ahead. Well, I liked both, but I'm going to go ahead and say, we're not friends anymore.
Oh, don't say that, right?
We can still be friends.
Scary games are scary, and she appreciates how Jordan goes into detail when talking about them. So
he has a lot of passion.
Maybe we have to have some Jordan stories about scary games more often.
Yeah, we do.
PT is creepy. I looked it up after I got home and stopped watching. Good call. Quoting me, eventually the fetus shows up in the sink. That is a thing that happens.
Quote of the week.
Quote of the week. Keep on listening. I love you. I love listening to you guys so much, Chrissy. Thanks, Chrissy.
Thanks, Chrissy.
Thanks,
We
Chrissy.
appreciate your listening.
We love you.
So, finally, we have to talk about our challenge for last week, which, Ryan, what was it?
It was read a Spider-Man comic.
Yes, and it turns out, spoilers, we all actually did.
Wow.
We did it.
And I'd just like to say that I was the enabler here for everyone.
Yeah, Ryan got the comics into our hands.
Yeah, I provided AJ with some comics, and I gave some to Jordan. I gave Josh the passcode for my Marvel Unlimited account. So I made sure that everyone was on top of this because I want to see people succeed in this.
That's
you
right.
really
did it.
initiated it, Ryan.
Yeah.
Just quickly, what ones did you guys read?
Jordan?
I read volume.
You read I know what one you read.
No, the other one. I'm pointing to the books. I brought them back to Ryan. He let me borrow them here. I read The Amazing Spider-Man.
What number is it?
Ooh,
It's
an oldie.
number 204.
This was the second story appearance of the Black Cat, who first appeared in, I believe it was 193 and 194. You might be able to quote me on that.
Wait, what year is this?
I believe that's the late 70s, early 80s.
Wow, this is a pretty revealing outfit for that time frame.
Oh, yeah. That was a great time in comics.
I want to see.
You want to see? All right, here you go.
But yeah, that
We'll have to post it online or something.
It's not that bad.
We're talking about the 70s here.
That's true.
I've read Spider-Man, or I read 204 and 205. It's a really good story. That's there's lots of a kind of tension between Black Cat and Spider-Man, which is why I felt like Jordan might like this one, so I gave it to him. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. It was
Nice.
You're totally right when you mentioned how they speak. Because I totally read it. I'm like, oh, wow, this is totally a 70s.
Yeah.
This is like how people in the 70s would talk.
Yeah.
And it's so, I don't know, it's kind of like corny, but it's entertaining at the same time.
Yeah, totally.
And something bizarre that I noticed with it was I never realized that comics, this was actually like the very first comic that I've ever read.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it was like a newspaper. You've got ads on every third page. And I was flabbergasted by this one page. It advertised this pen. It was like one of those spy pens.
Yeah.
And this pen was like binoculars or a monocular or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And the description, it said, "This is the best device you could have for girl watching." I was like, what?
Whoa.
What? Wow. I was like, oh, wow. They totally wouldn't get away with that today.
No.
But back then, yeah, I mean, and if you read some of the other crazy paraphernalia they had on there, there was a ton of other ones that were something to do with girls.
Well, that was very much a thing. Like
It
even
was,
even
yeah.
when you watch Back to the Future, he finds out his dad was a peeping Tom.
That's true. It
Yeah.
must have been something in the 70s that was quite popular.
Like weird male fantasy
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
But
must have.
another interesting tidbit here is it's a very much of a culture thing. It's very bizarre if you stare at somebody for quite a long time without actually knowing them in North America. But if you actually go to Europe or you go anywhere east, if you're staring at someone, it's not necessarily that weird. People are pretty normal about it. They don't get weirded out or anything. So people watching is a thing.
Huh.
So maybe it's just some sort of stigma we picked up in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Good guess. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
What did you read, Josh?
I read Spider-Man and Deadpool 1, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
that was so deadpan.
Yeah, I don't know. I really had to force myself to get through it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny in like the conceit of it is like Deadpool wants to work with Spider-Man for some reason, but also wants to kill Peter Parker, so I'm assuming he doesn't know that they're the same person.
Yeah.
He takes him to hell, I think, through a
No,
teleporter, and
no,
then
no,
he tries to intimidate him.
No, he legit goes to Peter's house and shoots him in the head after just talking to Spider-Man.
Oh, I didn't get that far. That's not at least in comic one.
Oh, never
But,
mind then.
no, in comic one, the way it starts is he takes Spider-Man to hell and tries to intimidate him with like this devil like character. I don't remember who it is. And then you see
Mephisto.
sure. And then you see in a few panels later that he goes back to hell and he's like, oh, thanks for playing that up for me. Like it was like a bit to try and scare Pete, or just to scare Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. And like the villain he's fighting is like Mr. Hydro or something, which is I don't know.
The Spider-Man Deadpool series is very much a less serious take on the characters. Well, Deadpool's hardly serious to begin with, but yeah, they kind of write that one jokingly. That's why when you said that's the one you read, I'm like, Josh wouldn't like that.
Yeah. So I read it. I read it all the way
you
through.
read it. You read
We
it.
did it.
I got halfway through the comic thinking like, oh, there's like still 20 more pages to go, and then the last 20 pages are like some weird Vision spin-off story where he's a dad and like has a home.
Oh no,
I didn't read it.
every so often in comics they'll to promote a series that might not be as big, they'll include the first issue or at least a preview at the end of another one. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. He had like like a nice house and a car and
Yeah.
Still walked
that
through
series got
walls.
really good reviews, but I didn't really like it.
yeah, weird.
AJ.
So I don't remember what they're called, but I know them. So you gave me
You read
the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, which is
Yeah.
a month old.
It's a month old, and you know how I like first editions.
Yep.
So that's why you gave me that one. I read that one. It was good. I
Yeah.
liked that one.
It's very much taking, because right now in comic continuity, Peter, after being Dr. Octopus, it's really weird. Dr. Octopus took over Peter's body and essentially turned Peter into a billionaire because Doc Ock is a genius and created all these
Long story.
nanotechnology. Long story. And then so when Peter came back into his own body, he had all this money, and that kind of took Spider-Man off track because normally he's fighting for every dollar. But this one very much brought him back home.
Yeah.
It was a homecoming,
There
if you
was
will.
there was Johnny Storm in it. There was Ant-Man in it. There was the brother of the Tinkerer, and there's some stuff in it. And like I like how it like paid homage to like the older ones. You can tell there was some older homages for stuff. It was good. It was really good. And I might look at more of those.
Yeah.
But the good one here, and I don't remember. I think it's volume 147. I think I don't.
Yeah, issue one. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. It's not the original first time to see Stiltman, but it's the return of Stiltman.
We were talking before the podcast about how terrible it would be to make Stiltman into like a video or like a movie villain.
That's so
I don't know.
bad.
Yeah, Stiltman's a bit of a joke.
But I have a weird thing for dumb villains.
AJ's been on the hunt for the Daredevil issue featuring Leapfrog.
Leapfrog. and it was like $20, and I couldn't get myself to buy it. And then I came back and I was like, I'm gonna get this, Ryan. And Ryan's like, why are you going to the Daredevil one so fast? And I'm like, I'm gonna get Leapfrog, and it wasn't there.
It was gone.
It was
Somebody
gone.
got leapfrog.
Somebody
man.
else knew.
There's
that
something
Leapfrog
about
was the
stupid
jam.
villains that just clicked in my head for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't read comics so much, but like Leapfrog, man. But anyway, Stiltman, it's really funny because he gets beat up by every single superhero except Spider-Man, which sucks because Spider-Man's awesome. But he beats Spider-Man with his gaseous gas, and then says he beat him. And then apparently he's not getting publicity from it or whatever. So he's like, I need to be better. I need to beat Spider-Man again. So he tries to beat Spider-Man again. And he like upgrades his armor or whatever and upgrades his stilts and makes it like non-stick. So Spider-Man can't use his webs on him. And he's like, haha, Spider-Man, you can't do this to me. And Spider-Man's like, what the heck? And then eventually Spider-Man like saves him from like some rubble or like
Falling
this laser.
from too high of a height.
I can't remember what it was. But like he saves him. And then Spider-Man's like on the ground and he's like, I could do it. I could stomp on his face, but he doesn't do it. And he like holds him up and he's like takes him to the cops. Here's Spider-Man.
And then he breaks his back.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
that's
he just
Bane.
saves him.
Oh,
He's just
yeah.
like, I was gonna
That's
take
bad.
over this facility, but you know what? I don't have any more. I don't really want to anymore. That's how it ended.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I'm glad you loved
Perfect.
it.
I might
Right
even,
on.
I
Did
might
you-
even like, oh god.
Read something specific, Ryan?
I didn't do this challenge. No, I'm just kidding. I
Oh.
did it. I read I read one of the ones that Jordan did. I read 204, 205 with Black Cat. Really, really good. I read Amazing Spider-Man 13 and 14, which 13 is the first appearance of Mysterio. That it's hilariously cheesy how he explains how his armor and how his abilities work. He had one of those monologuing moments, and then Spider-Man's like, "Aha, I got you," because he was recording it the whole time. Because Mysterio dressed up as Spider-Man and committed crimes, and everyone thought Mysterio was bad. And Spider-Man got him to confess to all this. He's like, I did it because I had these in my boots that made me stick to walls. I had suction cups. And it was so cheesy. And then 14 was the first appearance of the Green Goblin,
Whoa.
which was also cheesy because it's very blatant that he was Marvel's answer to the Joker. He was kind of acted very similarly. And instead of having his glider, he rode he rode like a flying broomstick, but it was
the
like
heck?
an electric like machine broomstick.
Like a Swiffer?
So no, it was like a brick of metal, and it like puffed out smoke. It was so funny.
That's weird.
And yeah, then just a bunch of kind of random ones in there, but yeah, Spider-Man's good stuff. If you get the chance, go read some more.
Go read some comics.
Right on.
That was our challenge.
Yeah, so that brings us to next week's challenge, which is... So I didn't think of a great way to word this, so you're going to have to bear with me, but here's what it says. Ask a friend for a recommendation for something media-related that you normally wouldn't watch. So, for example, I have a friend who keeps asking me to watch Pitch Perfect, and that is like the most opposite of any type of movie I want to watch. But this week, I'm going to watch it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall in love with it, Josh.
I've heard it's good.
pretty
I
good.
refused to watch it. I loved it.
I'd like that movie.
And then I watched Pitch Perfect too. And that was good too.
Wait, number 3's coming out.
And I'm so excited for number 3.
boy.
Pitch
I,
Perfect one
I saw
was
the
good.
trailer for number 3. I had like a guilty pleasure, like, oh, this is coming out.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have an amazing recommendation for all of you.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking, if you don't want to ask any of your friends in your friend life for a recommendation, let's all give one quick recommendation for something. Let's try and do different genres, each of us. But yeah, Jordan,
All
what are
right,
you doing?
I'm gonna go for the very silly one, the Emoji Movie. I think you should all give it a go. You know,
Ooh,
we're all.
Oh, no.
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet, but we're all giving it a hard time. Maybe it's actually really good. You never know.
Give it a chance.
Now I'm gonna have to go see the Emoji Movie.
Man.
I'm
Don't
just
worry.
kidding. Don't watch
I got
it.
pre-advanced tickets. Don't worry.
Okay, here's a
That's
movie you should watch. Actually, we should go around. I need to figure out the name.
Sure.
It's an old movie.
I can start. My recommendation is going to be The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. It was a movie that I wasn't expecting to like. It
I like
doesn't.
that movie.
It doesn't have great reviews. I loved that movie.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
It was
It-
a nice movie.
It's an adventure.
I never heard great things from that.
It has terrible reviews for some reason, but And like the actors they picked for it are kind of weird, but I'm a Steve Carell fan, and this isn't like him in a necessarily hilarious role, but he does a cool job with it. I don't know. I like the movie a lot.
He does a great job, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know why it got such bad reviews.
Me either.
I can't really think of anything to recommend.
No?
Something weird.
Something, yeah, I don't know.
Or not weird.
Let's see. No, I can't think of anything right now.
The
Alright.
first
My
thing
mind
that
is
came
blank.
to mind, but it's not, I don't know. I feel like it's something some of you might watch anyway, is Drifters. I finally finished
Yeah.
Drifters, and it is really good, and I'm super hyped for the second season. But my recommendation, because it is on Netflix, is the 90s X-Men cartoon series.
Ooh.
All right. What you got, Jordan?
All right, this is an oldie. It's called Bad Taste, 1987. It is one of the most ridiculous movies you'll ever see. It is so hilarious. It's directed by Peter Jackson, so the same person
Whoa.
that directed
What?
Lord of the Rings.
What?
Whoa, okay.
You need to watch it because there are certain parts of this movie that are just so absurd that you're like, what? But you're so curious that you want to see what happens next because it's so out of this world. It's so funny. It doesn't have very good reviews, but I enjoyed it because it was one of those movies that it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah.
Right on.
The greatest thing about the X-Men cartoon series is the theme song. So good.
Random, go watch Kubo and the Two Strings.
Hey,
it's such a
that's
great
that's
movie.
a super good one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Go watch that.
I love that movie.
Go
It's pretty good.
watch that movie.
Guys, if you
I wanna
want to
watch it
see
again.
Wolverine be sick and not as good as Hugh Jackman, watch the 90s X-Men
You wanna
cartoon series.
if you want to see some awesome claymation and some beautiful storytelling.
If you want to see some sick music and Kristen Wiig playing a guitar walking after a helicopter,
Oh, no.
watch The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Okay.
And with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Later.
Love you.